and your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Turn the spoon to get your information. Turn the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep on gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon
Bada. Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kuwa. Wese kuwa, kujileo. Kuwa, kujileo.
Turn the spoon to get your information. Turn the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon, and your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Turn the spoon to get your information. Turn the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
School TV. School.
Yes, what you about today?
School. School TV. School.
Bada 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 bada.
School.
Skibidi bidi da bado.
Why he dropped the case against me? I've done nothing. I don't know who this guy is, and he defamed my character for the work that I have done for this country. For the I've served every government that I've come, and I've left a print. But the legal advisor, Bushi Ben Keita, told the president of the Republic of Liberia, he instructed the Senate court prosecutor to drop the case without my knowledge. I did not drop this case. I want us to go through the legal proceeding. Whatever judgment that come with it, I will settle for it. I am going to the mansion with my supporter, and I'm going there to stay there until I hear from Bushi Ben Keita why they dropped the case. In the meantime, my case is still standing in the civil court. Criminal cohesion, that's what I said. Menacing, that's what I said. Disorderly conduct, and that's what's my file in the court. And I can prove it. And I ask the justice system to not fail me.
The city solicitor in the Moreover City Court filed a case on behalf of the government of Liberia against Prophet Key and charged him criminally because he made certain statement on his podcast that me and his fellow were insulting to her. It's in the environment on the arrest. So they charged him criminally for speech that he made. The part that I played in it was I called the city solicitor and I asked him, is it true that you have arrested Prophet Key on behalf of the government of Liberia and charged him criminally? He said, yes. I said, on what basis? He said, on the basis of a complaint filed by this lady who said that she was criminally insulted in his podcast. Then I asked, are you aware of the Table Mountain Declaration that Liberia signed, where Liberia decriminalizes the criminalized speech? And are you also aware of the 2019 Camara A. Camara I, where we repealed all the penal code sections that has to do with criminal speech? He said, well, I aware of that, counselor, but show it to me. I said, okay, go and look at it. And if you see that speech of the kind that Prophet Key made has been decriminalized, that people cannot be arrested for it, then your best course of action will be to drop the case. Because you are suing in the name of the Republic of Liberia. You have a writ that says Republic of Liberia, by and through to the ending President Prophet Key. And it is not the government position. This government is not arresting anybody for speech. We don't arrest people for abusing.
Say you want anything, when you slap my ear, I have a friend keep up behind me with the pliers.
So the editing men took pliers and used pliers on you?
Yeah, they were two at the time.
Okay.
So when I used the pliers, I was still fully resistant. I said, the man, the only way they may leave the play, or let them tell me what they may do. All of a sudden, another two edition men came in. When they came in, the king was one officer. The officer said, as you give my hand, let's have a
the officer told you to give the hand?
Yeah.
The officer had gun with him?
Yeah, the tear got going.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he asked me to give him, to give my hand. I said, no. Why am I giving my hand for? I said, no, I'm giving my hand. I do anything. Then my mother came in. My mother came in, holding and put it. They tried licking him. Oh my God. My mama said, my son is going nowhere. My son is going nowhere. So the last group that came, our salesmen, when they came, the rope, what they used to clear when they go, the other guy is plugging the man's face.
Oh, one of the LG power member took that rope and slapped it in whose face?
In Lala face.
Oh, the little Lala?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the other guy took the helmet. For student on the man here.
So the man took the helmet, the LC helmet, and knocked it on Lala. So why was the police officer?
The police officer was present.
The officer was present.
The officer was present. The officer was irritating Lala. The officer was irritating me. The officer was forcing me to quack me. I said, no, you cannot quack me in my house. For no reason, you will not quack me. So after the man knocked the helmet on Lala, the man dropped. And Lala dropped. Yeah. So what was the approach from you and community dwellers that were around? The community dwellers, they were all at the window because our horse.
Has the company constructed? Question. Medical health construct. The government will cost the company to construct it. In 10 years, has the company constructed? Not renovated, not rent. Has they constructed a medical facility in a production area for its employees and the community? Question.
Well, what I do know is that they have health facilities in the concession area.
Let me ask my question again. Has the company constructed? Answer what they have. The plain language here, they should construct. Have they done so? Question.
No. I cannot say yes or no.
Yeah,
but I know that they have medical facilities to do that.
Those people
I know when you have
cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that the other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President-elect, you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they come on board to do that. We are aware of people saying witch hunting, but I don't think it's witch hunting when you have to account for your stewardship, but it has to be done in a way that is well-established entity with reputation to make sure that it audits and make sure that it reports to the public the findings.
Sometimes people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What would be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
Although in different positions, I ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about our family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
During the campaigning, you talked a lot about the country's youth, who are the majority of the population.
Yes.
Mr. President-elect, we know majority of them are unemployed, which some people say is a danger to the country's stability and peace. What plans do you have for the people of Liberia, especially the youth, in terms of job creation, in terms of having faith in moving the country forward? What do you have for them?
We came with a mantra that talked about, first we have a platform, and then we have in a brief platform that talks about arrest, meaning agriculture, roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. We believe these are areas in which we can jumpstart. And in those areas, we believe that our young people who are in the majority, they need to be equipped. We need to open opportunities for them to be trained and be marketable. We also have to make sure that the quality of education that will prepare them for the job market. But to do this, we have to be able to impress our partners and investors, the private sector investment, to make them feel that we are here for business, and this business, their investment will impact the young people, but the young people need to be trained. And we know that there are things that we can jumpstart that could bring little relief to the public. Like I have said, there is an outgoing government. There are a lot of areas in which we can begin to alleviate the suffering of the people. We're going to examine those areas, like where we know that the prices of commodities, essential commodities like rice and things, where we know that there have been some tariffs that we can work with, rather with the petroleum products and some of these things here. We want to do those things that will begin to alleviate. But I have said that in the first 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. That means these critical road conditions, we lessen them, because once you improve the road, the travel, the prices of commodities, all of that have reflection. On the job market, we're going to be very cautious because people have a lot of expectations in government, but in government, we have to know what we're inheriting, and that's what the transition team is working with. I come with a knowledge and with experience and a commitment to make Liberia a different country, a country in which the young people, our women, will know that it is time for them to be relieved, and we come to make them know that, yes, it's not going to be an overnight thing, but we come with a serious commitment to make sure that we make life easier for them.
You talked about the women. Any plans for women empowerment in Liberia?
Very much so. And, I have worked with women. When I was vice president of Liberia, one of the areas in which a lot of my first few months were utilized were with the marketing association. I worked with them until we got them organized, until we got money to create a real LMA that will become independent. That's why you see that the government, with all their muscling, they can tamper with them. We made sure that there was a law firm that put together their constitution to protect them, that we provided money for them to get a business entity that put them together to teach them some business. And those areas where mostly women control. Besides that, we intend to bring on board women, capable women. And I want to say, we don't want any token relation. We want people who are competent and capable and deserve the positions they get. Gender issues have always been issues close to my heart. And women involvement, we want to make sure that that is ensured. But I can tell you, the Liberians do understand where we're coming from. We want to make them know, we build a confidence that, yes, rescue is here, relief is here, but we have to move it at a level that we don't give any false assurances to anybody.
Let's look at the health system in Liberia. You mentioned it during your campaign. A lot of people say it's either non-existent or, Liberians would have to go to neighboring countries or even, southern part of the continent to go seek for medical attention. Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this? Because it's a serious issue.
I have worked with the health sector when I was in government, and you will see that we have Jamali, where now they do, people can go and do their examinations instead of going to Ghana. We have in mind to increase more of that on a regional basis to make sure that people can go somewhere instead of coming all the way to Monrovia to check there. A lot of people say the person just sat down and died. People don't just sit down and die. But that there will be possibilities that people will know at an early stage the condition of their health. Besides that, we want to open opportunities for all our hospitals and clinics to be functional. And when I say functional, there's a belief in a country that once you build a building, it's a clinic. Or once you build a building, it's a school. We want to make those things real, that when we build a hospital, it has the right people, and those people will be paid. The nurses, people, all who are responsible will be looked after. Because even those who look after people, they themselves need to be looked after.
But
we want to make them function.
That costs a lot of money. How do you plan to finance it?
It costs money. But let me tell you, Liberia is not working. Everything that we are doing, there have been a lot of work put in the health sector. How should it function? What we need in Liberia is implementation. We're not beginning as a new country. Everything is on paper. But we need to make sure that we function according to those guidelines that have been set up. We implement those things that have been documented over the years. And I want to believe that we are not in there alone. there are partners who are anxious to see a government that is committed to make sure that these things function and that they are willing to work with us, even as at now. We have made a lot of contracts already for medical supplies. I have been to Arizona, Project Show. They've given a container load of medical, but we have to make sure that these things reach their proper destination, not ministers opening their private clinics, not people standing there along the way. So we are aware, and the system is in place. We have to implement what we said.
Mr. President, like you talked about Liberians taking Liberia back to where it should be. What do you mean by that? And what or how do you plan to do that?
Well, we say where it should be because everybody remembers the good old Liberia, but we have to understand that the good old Liberia had not always been the good old Liberia for all Liberians. So taking it back means that there are some things that we're working right that we need to, but we need to go further than that. Population has increased. Take Monrovia, for example. When it used to be 350,000 people, now it's over 1.5 million. And you know the social services are not there. We haven't coped with the social services. We have to make sure that we go back to where we were when things were good, but we have to see that situations have changed. For example, you take the city of Monrovia, there are no streets. Movement is difficult. The streets are filthy. The Liberians have seen that. And right now, this is why you have this mass movement where people are voluntarily going the street for cleaning. That means they know what's supposed to be, they are aware of it, but they need a leadership that will make them come back to recognize who they are and put a value on their lives.
Mr. President, like before we go, you talked about looking at how people voted during the last election, and analysts are telling me that it looks like the country is sharply divided. How do you plan to unite the country? And do you think there are any major takeaways from this recent elections, or what other countries can learn from the Liberian recent general election?
We want to thank the Liberians, including the outgoing president, for seeing the need. I did that before. And I think we all should know that we serve people and that when the time comes for us to leave, we should leave gracefully. Everybody is commending Liberia for that. But at the same time, the Liberians themselves were looking for a change. They were committed to making sure. I'm reflecting on the night of the election. There are a lot of things that could have happened, and the Liberians stood to make sure they protected their votes. For me,
yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand humble with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon.
Okay, tune to Spoon to get your information, tune to Spoon to know what's happening in Liberia, what's happening in the ministries, in the agencies. This is where we get to talk about the happenings across Liberia. We come up here every single day, 6 days, 6 days a week to talk about Liberia, how we can move our country forward. We come with diverse views, but we all want to see our country do better. We want a better Liberia than what we have now. And so that's why we come here. And sometimes we have the disagreements. Of course, we will not always have the same views on national issues. And that is the beauty of democracy. But at the end of the day, we can disagree and agree, but Liberia is what matters the most. I want to say welcome to everybody here tonight. Thanks to you across the internet who have joined us, our folks on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. That's for Facebook. Thanks to our YouTube audience, those of you on Spoon Talk Live tonight, we appreciate you. Thanks for being here on the program. My name is Nelson Colette, and we're gonna have a great show tonight. A lot to talk about, and I seen somebody I've not seen here for a long time. We're gonna have a great show tonight. Yes, kindly share the program as you come on. We appreciate that. And let me say welcome to the folks, man. Let me bring everyone on. I see. Let me bring Francis on first. Francis, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you, brother. Good morning. How's everybody doing, Mama Liberia?
Yeah. Oh, how's everyone doing, Mama Liberia?
Yeah. Everybody doing Mama Liberia, man.
Some people start at day, some people not start at day yet. Some people sleeping, some people up listening to the radio. Some people get their phone right in front of them watching right now. You know, I'm just trying to give update now. Some are home, some are at entertainment centers right now.
I know it's very Friday night, Friday morning.
Some are having some serious dissatisfaction. Some people are happy about their government. Some people are dissatisfied. Some people are still in the defeat mood, while some people are still in the campaign mood. Yeah, so many things happening. So, Francis, that question get plenty answer.
I know, bro, but we just gotta ask the question back. We gotta ask the question. We can't.
Yeah, certainly. Let me bring this man on. Councillor Tiawon Gonglo. You know, for instance, you remember doing it? During the campaign time? The man who publicly disassociated himself with Councillor Tiawon Gonglo. So
don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
The rest of Liberians.
The men realized that Tiawon Gonglo was not going to cross.
No, don't sugarcoat the thing. You're trying to fix things. But you can't make it.
Okay. Let's make a talk for yourself.
Let me bring Sandy on. Then we bring Toure. Mr. Vakabina Toure is in the back. But Sandy, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you tonight.
It's good to be here. How you doing?
The man protest over Francis. You seen what I see?
That father JB spoke with the man.
But if everybody were protesting that the man was going to be okay. Imagine a man had a protest for 3 days.
Now I'm about to protest, my man. The thing that we seen, oh boy. Yeah, but you know.
And now the real protest coming start, eh?
Real protest coming start, but you know, we protest.
Let me bring, we're good, man. Let me bring Toure on, the man who publicly disassociated himself. Tiawon Gonglo, Mr. Vakabina Toure. The man who came to Liberia and promised several times that he would have appeared on the late night show, but he couldn't make it.
Oh man, look, man, life is good, Nelson. Good to be back in the States. Oh man, bro, Megan to all, man. Megan to all.
No, Megan to some. Megan to all, but Megan to some. Listen, I announced on the show that look, we're gonna have Toure on. Toure will come in studios. We'll have a great show. Toure is in Liberia, but 2-3 days Toure can come. 4 or 5 days, 1 week, Toure can come. I said, but what's going on?
Man, Toure
but he couldn't make it.
Toure in Ivory Coast, Toure in Sierra Leone, Toure in Guinea.
Wow.
Back in Liberia, back in Guinea again. So man, it was a vacation of everything, man. We just had to be everywhere. And you try to connect with family across border lines, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was it, man. Francis, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man. I'm very jealous, man. I saw you traveling the Mana River Union. But it's good that you it's good that you are on the show, because for one of our own to go and travel Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and go and be home in Mama Liberia in recent time. So you have a different perspective. You have more information, because for me, the last time I was in Liberia was 2022 January. This is 2024, and you're just coming back, so you can give us more reality, more light on things. So thanks for appearing tonight.
You're absolutely right. And I was just not based in Montserrat, man. I was in the interior in Batala. I spent bulk of my time in Batala. You all know how much I'm enamored with Batala. That's my birthplace, and I have a huge family there, man. So I was in Batala, I was in Nimba, I was in Bon, like so many places, So you're absolutely right, Francis. I have a raw perspective about what is happening on the ground. I just didn't sit in car moving around. I literally park the car sometimes just walking. You won't believe this. I walk from Barnabas Junction to Dry Market, man.
We
exactly. Some days I'll park the car. I just get on walking. Just trying to connect with people.
Sandy, we're not hearing you.
The message walk from Barnabas Junction to Dry Market. That walking distance.
It's good.
Let me tell you how about this? If
Barnabas Junction to Dry Market, I roll.
Bro, my man, that road not easy sometimes, my man. Especially in that heat there, man, Sandy.
America not spoil you, but America three tackling.
Nah, my man.
I used to walk from Barnabas Estate to the supermarket every day to school. And you walk from Junction
but let's be real. Let's be real.
My man.
Sandy, that you're owner working there from Barnabas Estate to supermarket. You get plenty of shortcut. You used to make use of the shortcut.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you used to walk on the main road. You go Barnabas Junction before you start going to supermarket.
You go beyond 2 star feet there. One woman there called Fina Johnson. She get a restaurant there. I finish eating my father out of Kobo. Then I pass on.
Yeah, man.
Sandy, when you doing those kind of thing, right? I mean, obviously, I'm thinking you had choice, or maybe you probably didn't have any choice. But I'm talking about someone voluntarily parking their car and just get to walking.
The main get play at chicle. The play at chicle. The grumpy you put in your pocket. It's just small.
Exactly.
By the time it fitting, you already not get to your destination.
Yeah, man. I totally
man. But it's a good thing. And it's actually good. Nice seeing you on set again today. Welcome back to the show. I know you had a good stay here in Liberia. We were able to catch up once.
Yeah, man. Man.
Yeah, and then the next thing I saw you were in Guinea. The next thing I saw you were in Ivory Coast. I said, "Wow, my brother is exploring." But it's a great thing, and I'm just glad that you were able to make it back.
Yes,
which is very important, safely. Yes, and here we are tonight to talk about our country, Liberia, everything happening with it, and how we can go about it, and everything. And so, let's kickstart the show, man. Let's talk about what's on our minds. Let's do 1 minute quickly. Let's give our perspectives on the happenings in the country. So let's start with Francis, and then we're gonna move to Sandy, and then to Ray.
Yeah, guys, man. Good evening, good morning. I was sitting today, especially my father. To raise live he did today. I think what today triggered something in my mind. I just saw his live, and he talked about some other things. Then I started thinking, I'm like, rice is our stable diet. Food is good, but we got to think beyond food. I was just sitting and thinking about, look at Ivory Coast. We have a 14-year war, right? Look at the time it took for Ivory Coast to build their country. That just yesterday they hosted the African Cup of Nations that they won. And look at the immense development that has taken place in that country. And I think that happened within, I don't know, the last 10 years. In the last 10 or 15 years in our country, to be developed like that, to have all those stadiums in our country. And Ivory Coast, yeah, they didn't have the type of war that we had. I know people want to say, oh, Ivory Coast didn't experience the type of war that we experienced. But trust me, the spill over from our country affected Guinea, it affected Sierra Leone, it affected Ivory Coast. But the people are so developed. Now look at even Ghana. Ghana, there was a video, I think somebody posted in our chat room today where they talk about having a bullet train by this year. Train to go take people around the country, cut down transportation, travel time. Other countries, our brothers and sisters, our neighboring countries are now thinking about modernized technology, modernized way of life. But poor Mama Liberia, in the oldest republic in Africa, we still think about bringing down the cost of rice. That's our main focus. Any president that come and bring rice price down to $10, in my belief, you can even the roadside don't even have to be fixed. You win re-election. That's a shame. I don't care how anybody feels. That's a shame. But when I was in Liberia in 2022, my dad left Liberia and went to Sierra Leone by road. He went through I think Kawa area to go to bombing side and drove to Sierra Leone. He said the best road he drove on was when he got out of Liberia and got into Sierra Leone. And Sierra Leone experienced deadly war too. But how are the people infrastructure better than ours today? You see? So, but every time we focus on Liberia, we say, oh, rice price high, fuel price high. But other countries, they have figured out a way to stimulate their economy, wherein food is not the primary concern anymore. Now they will tell you, how can I do have bullet train? Ghana talking about they got the fastest train. It will be unveiling this year. Sierra Leone saying that Ivory Coast just hosted African Cup of Nations. They got 3, 4, 5 stadiums that can hold tens of thousands of people that brought millions of dollars to the economy in the last few months. But like, bro, still talking about bringing 25 kg bag of rice down to even $16. That won't be concerned and few. But God need to help us. We need to pray for our country and for better leaders, because rice is not everything. Rice is not everything. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Francis. Let's hear from you, Cindy. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, good evening to all of you. Ture, welcome back to the show. We miss you. Glad you had a good time in Africa. Those in the comment section, thank you for joining us tonight. Francis, I gave you a short story to what you were talking about, then I'll go quickly to what on my mind. I grew up in a beautiful town in Ivory Coast called Tiobli. One of my greatest inspiration, one of those folks that I look up to, is the late To Siam. You don't know him? None of you know him. His father owned that town where I grew up. As a young man, he grew up in France. He was a construction engineer. He built the best house, according to him, that he had ever built as a construction engineer in his own village. That was for himself. In a little village, that house, 3-story building, we used to go there and play. What you will be wondering why I'm sharing this story with you. I came back to Liberia in 1999, and the African War started. I think it was around 2003 or so, or beyond, or a little before that. My worry was that house was going to be broken down. Okay? After the war, when it went back, that house plus every other houses and everything else were left untouched. Why am I sharing this story, Francis? is the mind of the people. Ivory Coast fought war. They did not destroy their infrastructure. We fought war. Not only did we kill each other, we destroy everything. Let me go to what's on my mind. And what is on my mind is very disturbing to me. Maybe you guys touched on it yesterday. It's the issue of the Buduburan camp in Ghana. We have several family and friends that grew up on that camp, that still live on that camp. And you all know what has happened to them, even though they were given several warnings and told to leave the camp. But what happens still is it's a disaster for most of them. Most of our people now are displaced currently in Ghana. They have nowhere to go. I was on that camp 2021. I saw a lot of Liberians. I interacted with a lot of Liberians. And when you ask them, why are you not going home? You've been here for 30 years. Why are you not going home? They tell you our country is not ready to receive us. And that's the same thing. If I ask any of you now, Nelson, you live in Liberia. Most of us in the diaspora will say Liberia is not ready. The country is not safe. We still, at this point, we still lack electricity. You can't even walk your broad streets at night. Fire issues all over. Crimes everywhere. You don't blame the people why they can't go home. At least some of them can braid hair on the camp and make money. They can do their little hustle and make money. What would they make money out of in Liberia when the country is so hard and crimes everywhere? I hope that the Liberian government will intervene and help those people. They are still Liberians. No matter how long they've been in Ghana, they are still Liberians. And I hope that the Liberian government will intervene to help our people that are struggling in Ghana there, currently displaced. I look forward to a great show tonight.
Thank you, Cindy. Dure, let's hear from you, sir. What's in your mind? Dure, are you with us?
Thank you so very much, Nelson. Once again, man, glad to be back. Fantastic to see all of you, man, doing well and healthy and everything like that. To our viewers here in the United States and around the world, glad to be back with all of you. What's on my mind? There's so much on my mind, man. Everything that Cindy, Francis have touched. Just driving, like the time I spent in Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Guinea, seeing the mindset of those people, man, the citizen there, comparing that to our mindset, there is a huge disparity, not even close. People they thinking about development, they're thinking about moving forward. And I think what I observe in Liberia is the fact that we have a youthful population that are so intertwined into politics. The whole country is politically polarized. Everybody wants to talk politics. Everybody will engage with politics. You go Guinea, you see children making business, right? That's not a conventional way, obviously, that want to encourage things. But what I saw, children will come from school and go sell water, right? You see someone coming with their uniform, they just come straight and they just grabbing water to go sell it, and then by 6 p.m., they go home and start studying and stuff like that. So there are a lot of things happening in other countries. But what's actually on my mind, man, is that whole protesting that happened in the Western region. I think is disturbing. And then also what happened today with that whole LEC power theft situation that allegedly one person got killed through that whole process. These are things that really that we really need to start to really look into. Is it worth people dying for just simple things? Power theft. So what? When someone's stealing power, so what? Nobody need to die for someone stealing power. Apprehend the person, turn them over to the appropriate authority, let the people deal with it, right? You don't have to take law into your own hands to try to engage someone physically up to a point where the person actually dying. That is sad. Everything can be violent. Let's try to give the rule of law chance. you know. And I think these are stuff that we really need to engage with our people, especially for some of us that in the space of media and stuff like that. Let's try to really bang on these informations. Let's give rule of law chance. Let's try to turn things over to the appropriate authority, people that are actually constitutionally mandated to deal with these issues, opposed to us taking law into our own hands. Because if we do that, guess what? People die, right? Somebody or young man just died today, because someone decided to take law into their own hands. Someone decided to engage the president physically, and we just need to be like, we need to love each other more. I saw Africans, right? That's a gentleman right there, a young man. He's going for what? Because someone said the man was stealing power. I mean, so what? The whole LEC situation said, let me not even open my mouth. That whole LEC situation that someone have to die for. You know what I mean? But just man, that's just what on my mind, and hopefully we can get more engaged with other topics. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, sir. Vasco, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. Let me say welcome to Ture.
Vasco, bros. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's hear you, Vasco. What's on your mind, sir? As we wait for our work.
Nelson, what's on my mind is similar to what Ture was just saying, man. Innocent Liberian, man, losing their life, especially the ones that happen in Cape Town. Citizens aggrieve, try to express the dissatisfaction of certain things that is not working in their favor, and then people have to die. I don't know the reason why our police behaving this way. I don't know, because we just came from another government, and to the early stage of this new government, there were a lot of protests, a lot of things happened during the old government, the George Weah administration. We didn't see this kind of a killing innocent people. We didn't see that. But why this new government, and they are the same people that were in the police, the same guys. So what is happening?
You said, come on, Vasco. You said something. You said you didn't see what is it? You didn't see under the previous.
I didn't see innocent citizens dying because of going into the street to protest and police killing them. I didn't see that in the past 6 years. And these are the same people, the same guys that were wearing a police uniform. These are the same people. So what is happening? So the last time I came here, I said something, but people try to play politics out of it. Liberia is going very bad. We need to pray. This is a big platform. You need to let the people know. I told you people that there was a revelation that when Joseph Boakai win the election in Liberia, there will be a serious calamity.
Come on.
And no, Nancy, this is what on my mind. Today, I don't know what you guys saw. What you guys saw a prophecy 4 days ago about a guy saying that he's saying how to dream. If he lose his horse on that day, his whole horse got burned. He was there crying. He said he saw the dream in his vision. He saw the angel. The angel came to him and said that in 9 days, if you don't meet Pastor Ebi Kroman, and Ebi Kroman said, Pastor Kroman, one Pastor Kroman in La brother, Pastor Kroman, I don't really know him. He said, if you don't meet this man to talk to him so he can pray for the president, because there is a news, there is something bad coming on. And he
Vasco. Some of these I know we all share.
That thing on my mind.
No, but don't use that what's on your mind to try to instill fear in our people and try to do certain things, Vasco. I honestly respect what's on your mind, right, Vasco? But when you start to say people just dying and if I had injured appear, the injured say
Nelson, you want me to get his business?
Hey, no, the revelation, they ain't point anything specific. That's something will happen. So tomorrow something happen, that is the revelation say.
when
Nothing
they
specific.
rescue people talking and making all kinds of allegations,
No,
you
no,
don't check them.
no. Vasco is. I check everyone on the show. I just want to make sure that the information we putting out there,
It's true. I can
is
send you the
processed.
video. I can
The
send you the
information
video.
is processed the right way, and we're giving the right information to the people.
Yes,
So the
Minister.
first thing is all these revelation thing. I mean, I'm someone who subscribed to a religious belief, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think the spiritual things, there are so many things associated with the spiritual things. For example, vision, revelation. There's
Yeah.
no tester.
Don't
No,
overlook
I'm
it.
coming now. I'm coming. There's no tester to test whether that revelation come from God or it not come from God. Whether somebody was saying that and they just went in a delusional state and something just so Vasco, let's address the real issue.
Yeah, we'll come to the real issue, but this is what on my mind.
So Vasco, you just said the guy lost his husband. Is that what you said?
No. The guy said a revelation in her. They told him that in 9 days, if you don't meet A.B. Coman to let him know that there are plot against the president.
Okay, so he lost his house.
He lost his house on the 9th day because he didn't see Coman to tell Coman. So his whole house got burned, everything. He was there crying while the people standing on the house on fire.
No, they
got a prop. They got a Arnold Prophet.
This is serious.
Are you making sure, my man? We got a
not A.B. Coman. They got a.
But I mean, that's. Thank you, Vasco.
Calamity. You see, I didn't land though.
Vasco, you want to land? Okay, so please land, Vasco, in a few seconds.
And I want to take your man back. What I'm saying, I want to take your man back to the Toronto incident. That incident, that thing have never happened in our country before. You know how many human beings died on 80, almost 80 people lost their life. These are the things I said we need to pray. We need to call people to pray for Liberia. That's my point.
Okay. Wow.
We need to pray.
But Vasco is sounding very, very religious today. It tells me that we're going to have a great show. We're going to have a great show. But Vasco is starting the show by calling for a prayer. National prayer for the nation. And it's important. Spiritual thing, you got religious thing, you just gotta be careful about it because there are certain things you can't see, you can't prove. Again, but Vasco, thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you. I wish we have had those revelations to pray for President Weah as well. When he was president of the country.
The president had his own church, man, a pastor now, so.
You see, that's why the reason God vests with Liberia today. That's the problem with Liberia today. Preachers got church, Begube got church. That's the problem with Liberia today.
Wow.
The nature will be taken by a Prophet Key Church.
Wow. It is interesting how we're gonna move to our topic now. But it's interesting how Prophet Key went at Senator Prince Johnson's church, mounted the Pope, took onto the pulpit or the podium, and he started to tell the people, I came here and I realized that God is here, and but it's good to be here. Lots of things happening in the country. So much have been said about the LEC thing. I thought that LEC situation was very unfortunate, and no matter what the case is, man, no one should be treated like they are less of a human, and there should always be due process. The reason why, in the eyes of the law, even if you went and saw somebody stabbing another person, let's assume it was a Josh saw somebody stabbing another person to death. That Josh will not just go and say the person guilty, or whoever, whether it's a police officer, that person will have to be given due process. is because the law wants to provide, or the law seeks to have that person provide, reasons, or maybe be able to defend themselves, what led to the action, and that's what the whole due process is. I think every individual, regardless of what, should be given the time to defend themselves, for the situation where people will be treated this way. I have seen a lot of these power tech videos when the folks will be subjected to take out your shirt, take out your slipper, sit down on the ground, and sometimes you handcuff the person. You've already treated the person like a criminal when they've not been given due process. There are lots of information we're getting with respect to some of the things that lead to the very quote unquote power theft, and sometimes we try as much as possible to process these pieces of information, to let it out the right way, so it doesn't get to have to maybe incite people and stuff like that. But I think the team there will have to do better. It is unfortunate that someone had to lost their life in the process. They will have to do better. Let me just hold it at that. They will have to do better. Well, so many of us woke up to a video that circulated on the social across the social media. I'm going to play that video, but before that video, we had a video here right after the inauguration. A video of Senator Prince Yellowway Johnson when he said, when he tried to engage or give a perspective about what happened on the inauguration day. And he went on to say, to blame the speech writer, the person who wrote the president's speech, how there are people within the cycle of the president who went on to, in the midst of all the beautiful things that are happening in the country, they didn't see all those things to infuse in the president's address, but they went and include that whole war crimes code thing. And so when the president was reading it, when he said, I will tell United Nations, I will tell this person, I will tell that person, as soon as it came to war crimes code, and then he went down. So that video, is something that caught the attention of a lot of people. Some saw it as a kind of a mockery he was making of the situation. Some saw it as his earnest opinion. He was just being clear about how he felt about the thing, this whole aspect of the war crimes code being captured in the president's speech. While others saw it as the regular Senator Prince Johnson expressing his frustration or disappointment over the fact that someone he supported so dearly is looking in the direction of war and economic crimes court, something which he have resisted over the years. He have felt very offended about every single person who ever made mention about this issue of war and economic crimes court. To the point where he and Senator Dillon had a heated debate, and at the point he told Senator Dillon he would turn his table around and upside down and stuff like that. But in the midst of everything, Senator Prince Johnson played a pivotal role in getting this government to where it is. He supported. He and Senator Kuhn, now the vice president of the country, they canvassed, they went to the towns and villages, all the bad roads, the hard to reach areas, they were there. They put their everything in this campaign. And they got the results because, with all of what happened across the country, Nima County was always that hope during the election that when you call the result from Monserrato, you call the result from this area. When you get to Nimba, you have some hope that what turned out to be disadvantage for the Unity Party in the other counties, the Nima County will just swallow all of that up. So Senator Johnson and Senator Kuhn, who is now the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, they put their everything in and they got the results they wanted to get from the county. Now, we go back to Senator Prince Johnson being a supporter of the CDC. Now, a lot of people say that this senator have always supported the winning side. Everywhere he throws his weight, that's where the victory goes. But then, some have attributed that political card he has played over the years to the very reason why Liberia have not seen the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in our country. Some people believe that the fact that he supported President Sirleaf, for example, and he being one of the person who was documented to have played a major role in the civil unrest in the country, President Sirleaf, to some extent, felt obligated. Now, forget about all the things that I said about her and her own stuff, but she felt to some extent obligated to protect him by, giving a blind eye to that. President George Weah, to some extent, yes, he received the support of Senator Johnson as well. And so a lot of people, even up to now, across the country, if you went to Liberia, talk to people, so many Liberians still believe that the reason why the CDC did not deliver on that whole war crimes code thing was because President George Weah, based on the support that Senator Prince Johnson gave to him, all along felt obligated to Senator Prince Johnson. And that may have contributed to this whole blind eye to the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in our country. Senator Johnson supported Unity Party, President Boakai now. And so the moment President Boakai mentioned the issue of War and Economic Crimes Court, especially on the inauguration day, it caught the attention of a lot of people. And it did not come as a surprise to so many people that even Senator Prince Johnson saw that as something that was of concern to him. He spoke about it. But again, there were some who still thought that, well, that was just inaugural speech. We're not going anywhere with that thing. But of recent, there was a video that surfaced. There was a video that surfaced. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get. All right. So there was a video that surfaced with President Boakai in a conversation with Mr. Allen White. Well, in that video, the president is heard pledging his support or his commitment to this whole issue that has to do with the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. Well, the entire communication or PR team of the president did not speak about that issue. At a point when the presidential press secretary was engaged with respect to this happening, that particular video, she said that it was not true. But then how did we get here? Now, I'm driving somewhere and I want us to take a look at just a brief portion, a short portion of this video. Let's capture something here. We're about to move to the talking point, but I want us to capture something here.
I just, we've been on this journey together for a long, long time. And I wanted to thank you for the phone call. And I just wanted to ask you again, why did you want me to come over here when you?
Well, you've been a good friend of Liberia, and I don't see it just as a duty. I see it as a concern for a country that you have interest in, and you pursue that, and we believe your concerns are genuine, and so we've opened the door for us to work together. That's why we call you.
Well, Mr. President, I can't tell you how many people worldwide, when they read your speech and you talked about having an office of the War Crimes and Economic Crime Court to facilitate the creation of this tribunal, international tribunal here in Liberia to bring the justice to the people. I heard it from the U.S. My phone blew up, as you can imagine. People said I could not believe, and they were so ecstatic and elated. And since I've been here, I've heard the same thing. So I wanted to thank you again and give you full assurances that we will do everything we can to help you bring justice for the victims of those 250,000 people that were killed during the two civil wars that happened.
Well, Alan, in every country, and especially a country that boasts of independence, 176 years, and you know very well that it is because of the impunity, the disrespect and disregard for justice that have created all the upheavals in this country. And we believe we have to lay this to rest. Let all the facts be known. Let people who think that they are innocent prove their case, so that we can lay this to rest, so that this country can move forward. It's not a wish hunt. It's a matter of testifying to what you know and what you've done, so that forgiveness can be done on the basis of knowledge and truth. And that's what we're talking about.
Well, Mr. President, you have our full commitment to help realize that. And what we did in Sierra Leone, we were able to move the people on to the reconciliation phase. Because you're right, when people are walking around and they see impunity and they see people that have never been held to account and self-enrich themselves, it basically rubs it in the face regularly. So the fact that you are stepping up, taking this leadership role, I can tell you so far, the people of Liberia are ecstatic about it, and we're here to help you facilitate this properly, independently, and let the prosecutor follow the evidence where it goes. Not me, not you, wherever the evidence follows, and have it done under international standards.
Okay. So sorry, we some technical issue from that end. So this interview. So the presidential press secretary, in her response, said Allen White did not come to the country, and there was no such discussion held between the president and Mr. Allen White. Well, but it turns out that this interview right here happens, or this discussion or whatever that went on, it turns out that this is a conversation between the president of Liberia and between the president of Liberia and the ambassador at large for global crimes, or that's global criminal justice in the U.S. Department of State. This is Beth. This full name is Beth Van Shavek. And this is someone who has been very big on this whole issue of the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. Advocacies that he has put forth and everything has been more concerned about atrocities, crimes, including war crimes committed against humanity, genocide, and all of those things. And his advocacies have been what the role of a country like a powerful country like the US should be in addressing these kinds of issues across the world. Met with the president, had a very beautiful conversation. In that interview, you heard the president saying that there shouldn't be impunity, that people who committed whatever crimes should be able to account for what they did, and all of those beautiful things that the president said. Following this interview, the Front Page Africa then reported that they came up with a caption. What is it here? War and Economic Crimes Court in a striking distance with resolution expected before the legislature next week. What they are saying is that the following that visit or that interview with the president, the representative of District Number 3, Montserrat County, Smo Morba, is expected to put a bill before the legislature effectively next week. Immediately, once they start, the session next week, there's a bill that's going to be on the floor for that. Now, just giving a background on this whole thing, but considering the support of the senator toward this administration, and given the steps that this administration is taking now towards this whole war and economic crimes court thing, folks. And don't get me wrong, we know the president promised it, he spoke about it, but considering the efforts, the actions that have been taken now towards this whole thing, is this something that folks in the legislature and in other areas of government who have supported this administration, is this something that they are going to embrace? What sort of what with the folks like Senator Johnson, Representative Yeke Koluba? We know Representative Yeke Koluba has said repeatedly that he won war and economic crimes court. He wanted. But these people, are they going to embrace this latest move from this administration? Now, considering that the two administrations before now, President Sirleaf and President Weah, did not do this, given the efforts that the Barker administration is making towards this, is it going to succeed? Are they going to succeed in that? Liberia have seen peace for over 20 years, 2 decades. So many people at this point still subscribe to this whole thing that we should let go of that war crimes court thing. We should focus on developing our country. Is this fight? Is this action? Is this thing worth it? Let's kickstart the conversation from here, guys. I want to say welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Welcome back, Ture.
Yeah, Ture came with Red Cup on the show.
Thank you, homie. Thank you very much. I wow, man.
That's great.
Nelson need to become a panelist. Man, the way you can, the time you take to lay the premises, man.
No, I want to lay it well.
I want to stop the thing one for all.
No, I want to lay it well, but Sandy, go ahead. Make it talk all, you know.
You pass your time, you got talk more than over. Look, let me say this. Senator Johnson has given to him in our recent political history has become one of the smartest politicians in Liberia. A lot of people are going to hate me for this statement, right? But if you look at how he's playing politicians in our country, you will know that this guy has been playing to save him from facing justice. And he has utilized the power of Nima County. Okay? The power of Nima County, the vote reached Nima County to pretty much capture all previous presidents, and perhaps he had attempted to also capture President Boakai. And we will see if President Boakai will surrender to Senator Johnson. Madam Salif did surrender to him. President Weah surrendered to him when it comes to the issue of war crime court. So we'll see if President Boakai is going to surrender to him. But here is the thing, Nelson. Liberia is heavily divided when it comes to the issue of war crime court. I will say, without giving you any numbers, that maybe we can say 40-60. Perhaps 40% of our people don't want it. They just want to move on. And maybe 60% want it. Again, there is not a statistic on this. There hasn't been any sort of statistic done on this. But if you talk to Liberians, you will understand that some want to move on and some want this. So, for me personally, I believe that if President Boakai should undertake this initiative, that for once will tell us that he's lifting up to his promise. He promised the Liberian people that this is something he's going to do. So if there's something that he's going to do, then yes, we're going to, come here and say, look, this man is living up to his promises to the Liberian people.
Yeah, but here is the thing, Cindy. You have someone who contributed immensely to your victory. All right? You have someone who put his everything into this thing, his time, his resources, his connection, and everything to make this thing work. Are you going to let go of the interest of this man? Are you going to, and this is like being between the hard place and the rock, and I don't know how to put it. The interest of the senator, and not just him, but the likes of Representative Yeke Koluba, and so many Liberians whose interest will be brought on the table or whatever when this thing is effectuated. I mean,
look, Nelson, a lot of people brought President Boakai to power, including drugs dealer, and I don't know their names, including market women, Zokos, former warlords, former rebels, well-meaning Liberians, innocent Liberians, from every sector of our country, from anything you can think about, every sort of group wanted President Boakai to become president for a better Liberia, not for their individual interest. Do you understand? I came here and said President Boakai will be a better leader than George Weah, not because I didn't come here and say that President Boakai will free me from prison if I commit crime. I didn't come here to want President Boakai to become president because I want my selfish interest to oversee the Liberian people's interest. I mean, to supersede the Liberian people's interest. So if President Boakai will allow individual interest to supersede, to go against what the Liberian people want, then history will judge him for that. He is not going for second term, most likely. So he has the greatest responsibility to bring justice to Liberia, to change the current trajectory of our nation, to put us on the right path, so that let him set an example that leaders that will follow him will work on. So I think there is why war crime code will probably be an important thing for Liberia. Look, I have said on record on this particular show that I do not care much about it. I said it. I said, let's move on. I'm one of those people, I raised my hand, I said, let's move on. because I have spoken to Liberians from all sectors. And everyone you talk to people from Nima, they celebrate Prince Johnson. You talk to people from Grand Gita, they celebrate their own. Dr. Bole, this one we just, this brother we just elected, Tomo Nimne Yaya. I mean, every county, people they're celebrating their own. But that does not erase the fact, Nelson, that there are people still bleeding in Liberia from what happened to us in and out of Liberia. And if it's in the wisdom of President Boakai, and if he believed that this will bring comfort to Liberia, and that this will re-establish our international relationship with our external partners, and that if this will give hope to Liberians, then he has my support.
Wow. Thank you, Sandy. Let's show you there. We're about to move to Ture. But let me bring a portion of this thing.
You are supposed to protect and defend life and property. We have nowhere to go, but believing in the power of prayer. Prayer is a key that opens all doors. Today we are seeing. Today we have a new authority that is ushering in, led by a deacon of F4 Baptist Church. They themselves to come with investors, to invest. And you are threatening protest, you are threatening trouble. Our war is finished. Amnesty have been put into place. There are amnesty laws on the board. And you put it on paper, you want to bring walk and go. Even by the fact that you are announcing walk and go, you fear the people. Because we have thousands of people who are prepared to defend and will be kept after us. The war is over.
And there you have it. There you have it. The senator saying, I mean, you heard the senator. He got thousands of people to defend. If you come after them, war is over. Amnesty is in place, and everybody should move on. But if you ever decide to come after them with this whole war crimes code thing, they got thousands of people to defend them. But don't forget.
Go ahead, sorry.
Don't forget that it was this senator who paid a visit to the president now, when there was still uncertainty as to who's going to go with the president as vice, who's going to be on the ticket as vice. It was this senator who paid a visit to the president. That visit went wild, and in no time the narrative changed. The people whose names were surfacing all around, and then from nowhere, the next name was Senator Kuhn. Today, he's vice president. Now, Sandy, you wanted to make a quick point, then we'll move to Ture.
I mean, that's exactly what I was saying. He said he was fighting for his people. And that's what a lot of them going to say. I mean, so, but again, let me end on this. As a nation, we have priority. So, Lynn, thank you for bringing that up in the comment section. Let the president find what is most important to the Liberian people. Maybe there's a need for survey on this issue. But again, if the president thinks that this is a priority for the Liberian people, we all want justice and we'll support him. And maybe the other people come up. If you defend your county and your people, and if that's the only thing you did, then maybe you'll be set free. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Let me just ask a quick question.
Man, Vasco will come to you, man.
No, I don't want to ask questions.
Let's have Vasco to come.
I didn't get something clear from Nelson when he was playing the video that had the president and the Allen White on it. So
that was not Allen White, but go ahead.
The person in that video wasn't Allen White. That's my That was Alan White.
The person that video was Alan White. Nelson.
Alan White.
I heard Nelson calling another person here. That's why. That's why I wanted to.
No. But the point here is that interview is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the presidential press secretary was engaged on it, she said no, that's not true. But then Front Page Africa comes in to report that there was a visit by Bert Van Shavik, who happens to be the U.S. ambassador at large for global criminal justice to Liberia. And this, are you there, Fasco?
Yeah. She was here. She coming back again.
Okay, and this now happens to be the background of this entire action, especially what's going to be happening in the next week. Talking about a bill and stuff like that coming on as per this report. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted for us to clarify that.
Okay. Thank you. Please go ahead, Ture.
Okay, so look, once again, thank you so very much. So I will send you until at the very end. So now, Sandy, there's the thing. We cannot in any way try to the decision of bringing a war crime code. The decision should not be actually giving, or at least, for public consumption or public opinion, right? So if we do that, then obviously the 250,000 individuals that were killed, then who's fighting for those people? You know what I mean, right, Sandy? So that is my area. I mean, I totally agree with you that everything you're trying to do for the people, at least for the country, is good for you to get a general, opinion on it and try to see exactly what is priority for the people. But there are certain things also that you really have to look at it too, especially in the case of this war crime, right? 250,000 individuals were murdered, brutally murdered. And Nelson, with Madame Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, I don't think Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf was actually protecting Prince Johnson. Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf was protecting herself because she contributed a lot to everything that happened. Okay, so I don't think that was a case of she protecting Prince Johnson. She was heavily protecting herself. Because if Ellen Johnson would have sort of accepted the idea of introducing a war crime code, she was going to be kicked out. She was not even going to be qualified to stay as a candidate. Okay, so she knew that from the start, and that's why she did not encourage anything of sort. But let me say this, a point that Sandy made, and you, Nelson, you stress on it a lot too. Everybody contributed to the rescue mission, including majority of us here. Prince Johnson and the people of Nimba County, you cannot have the rescue mission presidency without Nimba. I think we all can attest to that. They were heavy in their support towards GMB. But as Sandy alluded, you cannot appease one person at the expense of the nation. And why is it me, or every time you talk about war crime code, Prince Johnson becomes defensive? I don't think Prince Johnson genuinely believes in his chances at the war crime code. Right? That's why every time conversations surrounding the war crime code, Prince Johnson seems to be very, 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 very fearful. He don't like that conversation at all. But let me tell you the next thing. You cannot have a total peaceful nation without total reconciliation. The country is not reconciled. There are a lot of people in Liberia that are out there in these streets looking at perpetrators, people that actually killed their parents. They can identify them walking the streets. So how do you reconcile that? That in itself is a problem. The country needs healing. And you cannot have a country like Liberia where perpetrators, they are the people with the most money, they are the people that have acquired most of the properties, right? So we're talking about a complex situation that needs to be looked at holistically. All right. So Liberia, I'm telling you, man, Liberia's, I mean, convoluted will be something that we can have for another time. But I'm telling you, the situation is so down to a point where I'm looking at JMB and I'm looking at this to what Sandy pointed out. What JMB's chances of a second term? We all can say that and say, no, that's something that, right? So his ability to do the right thing and set Liberia on a new course will be so effective that we all can say yes after his tenure, that we can all hold to say, look, this is the man who set the trend of Liberia prosperity, right? But there's definitely a need for reconciliation. There's definitely a need for war crimes code.
But Ray, then we're talking about two things here: reconciliation and the war crimes code. I don't think they're moving hand in hand.
Well,
because those who have been calling for the war for reconciliation, on one hand, their point have been that let's reconcile the country, let bygone be bygone, let everybody move on. Let's think about developing our country, because war crimes code is not going to put food on the table of anybody. Well, folks on the other hand think that, look, we need this. So I mean, yeah, just continue.
I'm telling you, let's look at trends. Let's look at countries that actually went through the same situation, if not worse. Look at Rwanda. Did they establish war crime code? A country that my man Sandy loves so dearly. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, not only did they establish war crime code, but it also created a national monument, right, for their dead. Do we have that in Liberia? We don't have that. So there's so many things that we need to look at. Look at Sierra Leone, our neighbors. Did they introduce war crime code? Yes, you bet they did. All right? And it was through our civil war that spilled over to those people. And they were able to establish war crime code and bring every perpetrator to justice. And you see how those countries are trending, right? They are trending upward. And look at us. Bro, you cannot in any way move on from this Liberia calamity. Yes, we have enjoyed peace for so many years, but there's a lot of scars that are yet to be uncovered. There are a lot of people walking these streets with a lot of hurts. There are a lot of people walking with their parents' spirit singing their ears. All right? So you have all of these things happening. People need closure. People need total closure. Perpetrators should be brought to justice. Perpetrators should be brought to justice. And that's the only way that Liberia can start to realize her full potential. Other than that, we can go back to a video where that video was recently posted in our chat room. A gentleman who visited Liberia from the States. And he said for a country that was established in 18 whatever, but yeah, you go there, is one of the most dirtiest places in the history of the world.
Don't matter, man. I mean, everybody.
But it's true, Nelson. Yeah, I mean, I was in a country, bro. Nobody need to tell me this. I was in a country. I was there. I saw things.
So you concur with me that Liberia, the country has the dirtiest.
Oh my goodness, bro. Yes, I agree with that, brother. I agree.
America, you got place are dirty.
Bro, I'm not saying this, right? At the end of the day,
Liberia is for the most.
If you go right on Woodland right here, there are a lot of that
Thank you
around here. All right. By the end of the day, nobody will go stay in front of somebody's front door and pee. I saw that happening right in front of my face on Center Street.
Thank you, Ture. Thank you, Ture.
Two people from nowhere pull their pants down.
So disrespectful.
I was talking to the mayor and the mayor having a conversation. Do pull their pants down in front of the mayor while we standing in front of the mayor house. Be right there and walk away like nothing happened. Unbelievable.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
So now, let's come to you, Vasco. Let's hear your take on this. You listen to the senator here.
Even by the fact that you are announcing Wakwambo, you fear the people because we have thousands of people who are prepared to defend the regret after us.
Vasco, let's hear your take on this one. You listen to the senator.
Yeah, Nelson. Look, I mean, we have to be careful. Like every one of us want. Like for me, I support the issue of the war crime code, but we have to be careful, and the president need to be careful. The video you just played with Allen White. The first question that came from Allen White was, "Why did you invite me?" Because you're trying to pick from the president mouth. Why did you invite me? And you're the president. And I don't know how that video came out. But you see, Allen White, there are a lot of Liberians Allen White in conversation when he talk to people. Common people like you and myself know. They sit on the top. So our president need to be careful. You see, Liberia and Sierra Leone issue is quite different. Sierra Leone, we had a parable in Liberia that said when the iron is hot, that's the right time you can beat it. Sierra Leone people didn't waste no time. They were able to apprehend all those people that committed mayhem in the country. But the issue of Liberia, we have gone a long way. All those guys,
2 decades.
All those guys, the Prince Johnson, see the kind of property Prince Johnson got, university. All these people that born naked in there, they establishing themselves.
He's a pastor. He's a pastor now.
Pastor now.
Yeah.
Everybody moving. Most of these people, they are rich. They got people that can stand up for them just in case of anything. And that is the difference between we and Sierra Leone. Yeah, much we want this issue of the war crime court, but they tell me for now, it won't be okay for our country. On a serious note, because and the reason why I say the president is putting himself into a problem with the American.
Really? You really think the president is putting himself in a problem?
Yes, Nelson, because
I'm not talking about
the
this.
President the president don't have the power to just sit by himself and say, "I want a war crime code." No, this president, the war crime, he have to pass through the house. Look at the people in our house. Do you think the guys in our house will sit down and allow the police and think to go to the war crime court? It's going to be difficult. And the president, what I'm listening to, he have committed himself to the American that he want to establish the issue of the war crime court. So they already got his words. If this issue of the war crime court cannot come to Liberia, I think the government, let's say the government and the people of Liberia, there will be what? A certain problem with the American. There will be things.
But wait, Vasco. This whole problem from what sense? You know, is it at a point it's coming across like you borrow money from somebody and you pay the money. If you pay the money back, the person will carry you to police or carry you to court. No, so I want to get I want to get exactly where you're coming from when you say the government will be in problem with the U.S. if they don't live up to this commitment.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, the judge we are government.
So is that the reason why the we are administration in the first place did not even establish this or make those?
You know, the issue of the war crime, even the Manasali, we have almost how many thousand troops, peacekeeping troop in Liberia. That was the best time for us to establish the issue of the war crime code because we had a manpower on ground
to arrest whosoever they want to arrest. Prince Joseph in Nigeria to go arrest him. The other guys in Liberia to go arrest them because most of these people were powerless. They were not powerful like the way they are now. We missed that opportunity when President William King, looking at adding 12 years with all that troop, and she couldn't establish the issue of the war crime court. President William was thinking twice. He said, "But now we have less than even 2,000-3,000 men here. Security. Thinking of turn these people over. And something spark out in this country, you know, Liberia, little things spark out like that before you made up your mind, just get beat. Because we already got the people on ground that fought war. They are not afraid to kill people. So things will just get big. So I think that's what President William said. I'm gonna go back to the legislature so they can advise me on the issue of the war crime cocaine or policeman. He never committed a set, but that video I'm listening to from the president, he's committing himself to the American. Maybe there's something. No, Vasco. Maybe there's something we're missing in this video. Maybe we're not getting something. Maybe we're not getting something.
I just, we've been on this journey together for a long, long time, and I wanted to thank you for the phone call, and I just wanted to ask you again, why did you want me to come over here when you?
Well, you've been a good friend of Liberia, and I don't see it just as a duty. I see it as a concern for a country that you have interest in, and you pursue that, and we believe your concerns are genuine, and so we've opened the door for us to work together. That's why we call you.
Well, Mr. President, I can't tell you how many people worldwide, when they read your speech and you talked about having an office of the War Crimes and Economic Crime Court to facilitate the creation of this tribunal, international tribunal here in Liberia to bring the justice to the people. I heard it from the U.S. My phone blew up, as you can imagine. People said I could not believe, and they were so ecstatic and elated. And since I've been here, I've heard the same thing. So I wanted to thank you again and give you full assurances that we will do everything we can to help you bring justice for the victims of those 250,000 people that were killed during the 2 civil wars that happened.
Well, Alan, in every country, and especially a country that boasts of independence, 176 years, and you know very well that it is because of the impunity, the disrespect and disregard for justice that have created all the upheavals in this country. And we
Of disrespect. Because of disrespect for the rule of law, impunity, justice. So the president in that video is committing himself to this, like Vasco said. Yeah, just conclude, Vasco. Just
Nelson, thank God you played the video and everybody listening. You see, the American, they are very smart. If you listen to Adewa from the beginning up to where all the questions he was asking, they got a recording on the president. He will take that recording to his people and say, yeah, the president of Liberia ready for the war crime court. So the pressure going to be on Bwaka, on President Bwaka. And the pressure will be also on the legislature. They said they got a role to play in this issue. Because they saw the sanction that came on all the lawmakers. So the America will be watching them. Who will go against this thing? Who will go in favor of it? And I can tell you, the way they have that recording on Bwaka, they will pressure around him. And if this issue don't come, there'll be a lot of opportunity. If it comes, Liberia stand to benefit a lot of great things from America. But if it don't come, we will lose a lot of things from America. Trust me. If that thing comes, that compound that the CDC government pass in, that money will come to this government. That the reason why they hold that money, now Baga have committed to the issue of the war crime court. If this war crime court, Liberia will get that money.
So in conclusion, Vasco,
In
is there
conclusion,
anything wrong with the establishment of war and economic crimes court in Liberia?
no, Nelson, it is not wrong. That's what I was saying. It is not wrong.
But then what's
I
up the
support it.
CDC? Yeah.
I
What's
support
up
it.
all the previous government from doing it?
But they tell me that's the problem. They tell me, like I said, all these people powerful. They got Kafare in Grand Gita. They got Prince Johnson in Nima. They got Bole in Grand Gita. All of them, they what? They lawmaker, the honorable lawmaker, the honorable serving and former superintendent. Nelson, how you think you're gonna get Prince Johnson go sit down in Nima County? Look at the command Prince Johnson got. How will you get Prince Johnson out of Nima County? How will you get Kafare out of Grand Gita?
I mean, Vasco, the poor old man. Vasco.
Wow. You know, Vasco, a lot of people are agreeing with you tonight in the comment section for the first time. So many people are agreeing with Vasco on this show, and I don't know how to put it. You know, so many people who even insulted you. Look at what the people are saying.
Nelson, can we please move on?
A lot of people are agreeing with Vasco tonight, and
Vasco is on cloud nine tonight.
Tomorrow,
You're really landed. Can we move on?
Send it take 20 minutes, 20 seconds rather. Then we'll move.
Oh, Vasco, the intellectual Vasco.
Then we move to Francis.
Let's give it to Vasco, though. I will agree, Vasco.
Thank you.
One thing you said tonight is that Madame Salif failed us on this thing. This is one of the areas she failed Liberia bigly.
Yes.
Bigly.
When
I agree with him on that one too.
President, if she would have just stepped on the thing on day one,
finish.
Prince Johnson were not working, he broke. All the people they were not working, they had no money, they had no follower. And we had the best security in country for United Nations support. You said that. I'm not trying to repeat what you said, but you nailed it. When Paul Kagame and Pascal came into power, Paul Kagame was vice president of Pascal of Rwanda. And Pascal was being lenient on the issue of war crime, and Kagame was on his back. We need to do this thing. We need to arrest the people. Pascal didn't want to move. Guess what Kagame did? He removed Pascal and became president. And he said, I don't want vice president. I alone will rule this country. Immediately, he started arresting everybody. Up to today, those that hurt Rwandese and have run away in foreign land like Congo, Kagame is still after them. You got to be serious about certain things. But yeah, the time frame is what's struggling us now, because Liberians, they have moved past this issue. Some Liberians, I don't want to speak for all Liberians, but some Liberian has moved past the issue, and you have empowered those people financially, morally. People that bring Joseph, they are rich. That's because you just hit the nail on the chin, man.
Thank you. Francis, let's hear from you. In the midst of everything that's happening, Senator Johnson is saying that they have people to defend them.
Yeah.
Are we seeing a Liberia where the president is going in one direction, while Senator Prince Johnson is going in another direction, just after a crucial election that they came together as one force to win?
First of all, let me just start to 45 minutes and listen without opening my mouth. So I will expect the same respect on this topic. First of all, I disagree with every single one of you that mentioned about timing this, timing that.
I don't think you want to enjoy your 45 minutes.
There is no statute of limitation on murder. I know I didn't say it was done, but there's no statute of limitation on murder. So you can even be let's just have a tell you can be on your deathbed if you committed a crime. If you're 100 years old, the day for 101, they can pull you if they want to. Let's go back to the video of Prince Johnson. Let me just address that part. Because some people come and say, oh, what happened in the 80s when Doe was killing Nibanians in the dark of night, blah, blah, blah. That was bad. That was bad then, it's bad now. But the same Prince Johnson that's standing in his so-called church today and asking the people pretty much to lead their own with God. Why he didn't lead their own with God when Doe was killing Nigerians in the dark of night? But they came to Liberia and with war and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. In fact, let's just go back to the whole thing and talk about the protection of Prince Johnson. I said this before on past shows. When he brought those boys, he and Taylor brought those boys, or let's just he Taylor and Sirleaf brought those boys from Budo that never saw toilet before in the house. And when they came in town, they started drinking from the toilet, saying, oh, they get well in the house. Those boys today have kids or grandkids that have cell phones now. They can watch TikTok. They can watch YouTube. They have been influenced by the West in other places. You see how Ganta is beautiful now? How people talk about Ganta be beautiful? Those people that are enjoying Ganta today, Ganta is in Nimba. You see they want to go to the Stone Age because they want to protect Prince Johnson if World Economic Crime Code come and then he go and run in Nimba. Then he say, oh, he'll put a barricade around him with Nibarians so they can destroy the accountant. Nobody want to experience what we went through for 14 years. So I can tell Prince Johnson today, I can tell John Paul, whoever California you're talking about, I will go sit in that county. Nobody. The children of those people that fought for them, or the grandchildren of those people that fought for them 20, 25 years ago, or whatever the case may be, those children now are looking at the Western world from in their villages. They have seen 10-story buildings. They have seen Tesla cars and Bentleys and convertibles. They have been modernized. So to just easily manipulate the people to say, can't die for me, like they did back then. I'm not saying there are no mumu stay in Liberia, but the amount of mumu you can get to lay their lives down for you so that nobody can arrest you to go and face the court, they're not enough. They're not enough.
So are you coming in with that point to further support your disagreement that the timing is right? Because people are more sophisticated now.
One is twofold. Yes, and there is no such thing as bad time. Let's look at the timing in Liberia. Eddie Johnson said he was a rebel. And she brought war to Liberia. Didn't she order the beating of the country devil? So what you think a criminal being the IG in Liberia, the Inspector General in Liberia, you think he will go arrest himself for crime? So it's not even about Prince Johnson supporting Ellen, and that's why the court did not come. Even if the U.S. Marine were even all over Liberia, Eddie Johnson said he was not going to bring that court because she has said they did not want to face the court. Then George, we had the Mumu in chief that came over there too.
He was our president, man. Come on, he was our president, man.
George, we had over there. He didn't even know what he was doing anyway. He just wanted power to the money that he lost for playing football, that he did not invest like JJ Okocha there, Sonny Elisa there, and other players that he played with that invested their earnings and did not need government. George Weah came out to the elephant meat to get his own. And how could he have gotten to cut his piece of that elephant meat? Was to garner the support of Prince Johnson. And Prince Johnson, being an opportunist, say, okay, this guy, I can wrap it around my finger, and then I get another 6 years, or possibly another 12 years, because he thought George Weah was going to probably go for 12 years, whatever the case may be, because they're Liberian people. If they put a higher Eddie Johnson for 12 years, they can make Prince Johnson senator. So he thought the Liberian people could just be easily toyed with. But not President Parker. That's why they said when Babu Yah died, Kenya was a son. Right? Kenya was a son. He supported Andrew Sharif, 12 years, boom. George Weah 6 years, boom. So he got 18 years past. Now, he thought that Barker now will be his next meal. But now the whistle, the blowing, and not hearing it. Forget to know that they're probably not going for second term. He's not going for second term, so he got nothing to lose. They say the men are down, fear no fall. So President Barker, no, I'm not coming to the guy again for re-election. He is He has been a kingmaker in Liberia for the last 18 years. He has been a kingmaker. Because like we all see, that's why we talk about decentralizing Liberia, developing the country so people can spread out of Montserrat County. Because now, Nima swallowed Southeast. So that was the advantage. But now President Barker is not going for re-election. So Prince Johnson, I don't need you to campaign for me. Let me do the work of the Liberian people.
No, yeah, you're gonna learn your thoughts, but there is a very important question here in the comment section. You spoke of how sophisticated the people are, making it somehow impossible for people to lay down their lives for these warlords, despite they are wealthy, some of them, and they have positions of power and stuff like that. But and someone is asking the question, Lin Lapo, he says, why do you think he has enjoyed the support of the people of Nimba? Do you think it's because of sophistication? Let's be practical. Now, and this is just a question. Francis, if the issue of sophistication is something to go for, how about the fact that this man went to the hard to reach areas in Nimba County and he was able to pull out the numbers? Doesn't that speak to his influence in the county, even after 2 decades? And even back by the statement when he said, there are people we have that are willing to stand by us, they will support us, they will defend us if you come with the issue.
Let me tell you something, Nelson, and thanks to our brother Lin Lapo, he's always asking good questions, making good comments. And that's a very good question. It's one thing for the people to elect you. And that's one of the problems with Liberia, right? Tribalism. But we got to get away from all these isms and stuff like that. It's one thing for people to elect you as a senator. And then you're using money, you're building schools and do other stuff over there, right? And which, of course, they are benefiting from it. But it's another thing to tell them, come and die for me. Let's bring back another civil war like we did in the past. But I want to use you to do it this time around. That's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. So build the school, build the churches, and give the people rights like we always do in Liberia when the officials don't do anything for the country. By the time they want election or they want influence or power, they kind of give our people rights. Give the people rights, let them eat. But I dare you tell them again to go and die for you like they did all those years ago. I can assure you, you will find some people. There are always people there, but you'll not get enough people to because back then in 89 and 90, Liberia was like a virgin land, didn't know anything. We just enjoying peace and stuff like that. People embraced the war. So people even shelter some of those rebels and stuff like that, making it almost impossible for them to be rooted out. But today, I can tell you, the majority of our people is against war.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how much support, how much love you think they have for you in your county. You don't have the number for them to lay down their lives for you this time around, where it will take our country back to those dark days. So that whole thing needs to be set aside. There's no such as bad timing. That is now. We need it now. And all people talk about it should be built in Liberia. No, we don't have the security to have that court going on in Liberia, because with all the protests and things that go on, yeah, let it be done in Ghana if that's where they want it to be. Let it be done in Ghana. I don't care where they have it. You can have people walking around the country, that people looking at them, they are suffering today because of what you did. But your children, your girlfriends, your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren are living a better life than they are because of what you did. And you're saying that all the people should be happy to my leader, oh God. Prince Johnson and other people, if you think you are not guilty, go to the court. The not Liberia court that you're going to, where they will say, oh, Kangaroo Court and Banana Republic, they lie on me. Go to the court somewhere else independent people. Let the Liberian people go and testify. If you are guilty, you're guilty. You think they don't see what happened with Justin or how you were dragged out? You think anybody want to be the next rebel leader in Liberia? Please.
You know, this is important,
So-
and a lot to talk about. We'll allot more time to our people today so they can express themselves as well. But I
Okay.
saw, yeah, we're gonna come to you next, Amy. I saw your hand up, Vasco and Cindy. You guys wanted to make a quick point before we move to Amy.
Amy will have 25 minutes just to delay.
Yeah, man, I'm tired of sitting here. I just keep talking over.
She has a lot to say on this. I know she will talk. Francis, I get what you're saying. I see a lot of passion in your. I heard a lot of passion in your voice, and I agree with you. But let's be practical. Let's be practical when we are discussing this issue. I for one want justice for Liberians, for all of us. I mean, you have heard me on the show here calling names of family members that have died in the war, very close family members, and I'll just move on, right? We want justice for all of them. Let's come back to Prince Johnson. If I'm not mistaken, Nelson, correct me. Prince Johnson currently is the longest serving lawmaker in Liberia.
Yeah,
There's a
27 years he's going for now.
There's a reason for that, Francis. There's a reason why Grenadians are not electing the same lawmaker over and over in one place, and they are changing because we have no idea of this person. If we don't, for instance, elect George Bole, something's going to happen, or this person that was fighting for us. I'm not saying that's the mindset of the people from Nima, but Prince Johnson strongly enjoyed the support of Nima County.
Did he almost get killed during the election time campaigning in Nima?
Strongly enjoyed the support of Nima County for him to have keep being elected. I agree with you. Nobody will go on the street and want to kill themselves for Prince Johnson. But I also believe that for any of these things to happen, Liberia must have some level of willingness to participate in it. And if Liberians from county to county are protesting against certain people being, facing a war crime court, it will not happen. It will not happen. Liberia must agree to this. And I can tell you, there may be 50-50 or even more against this issue of war crime code because Liberians from various counties protect their own. That's just the reality.
Thank you.
This may have happened many years ago, but people still believe that Prince Johnson came to save Nima.
Thank you.
Nigerians still believe that George Bode came to save them and the other people. This is just practical.
Cindy, Nima alone is divided when it comes to action against Prince Johnson. You saw what happened during the campaign time. That guy, I don't know what's his name. Then he put people together and they almost killed Prince Johnson, the vice president. So Nima also divided with the Prince Johnson issue.
For me, Francis, I am for justice. Again, I will keep saying it. But if it's going to be done, it must be done rightfully so that it will not divide Liberia any further.
Thank you. Thank you, Cindy.
Divide Liberia any further.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Vasco, you wanted to make a quick point, then we'll move to Amy.
Yeah.
Cash, go sleep, man.
Francis.
Guys, it's not for you.
Francis, every one of us, I mean, we're saying the same thing. No one here against the issue of the war crime court. But we're talking about Liberia. This is Liberia. Liberia, the things that you don't expect to happen, that's the country it happened in. Prince Johnson is not a small man in that country. And they got a lot of people in that country today. You must see them picking up iron, picking up all iron from the street, loading car. These are the terrible people in society. These are the people that feel the only time they can make life is when something spark out. They are there to watch it. I don't know whether you're in Liberia. There was some kind of little thing that happened between the Christian and Muslims. Some kind of thing happened one time. Before 2 hours, 3 hours, that thing took over the entire place. people were burning churches and burning mosques.
Thank you.
That
So
is
Liberia is not a
absolutely
place.
different. That is completely
I
different.
just
There's no
telling you
comparison
that,
here.
that people that feel that they want to establish a St. Louis crisis.
Because what
They
you're
are
asking
willing.
Liberian people to do
So
is,
don't say people don't want to. People will not stand up for Prince Johnson. No.
Thank you,
never said
guys.
that.
Let's
I
let's
never
let's
said
bring
that.
it there.
I never
Let's try
said
to
that.
bring
What I
Emmy
said
in.
was it doesn't have the number like they did in 1989. That number is not there. And what people was blind
You know,
and never saw
Do you
streets.
know there was
They
a
took-
revolution?
Come on,
All the top
Let's-
people in the revolution are still in Anima country.
Yes, but you know how old they are, and the people that they brought from Goodwill.
Thank you,
you know how
Francis.
old they are
Thank
today,
you,
and that
Francis.
children
Thank you,
have cell
Vasco.
phones today.
Let's
I will
move
be
to
happy
Emmy.
when Baka carry you. I'll be too happy.
Emmy, let's hear your take on this issue. We're about to go to the phone lines.
Really? So I don't know why everybody keeps saying you're talking about the war chronicle and just surrounding it. I mean, with one individual, which is Prince Johnson, and you're making the whole thing to be about Prince Johnson and Prince Johnson only, and we need to stop that. This is something that you heard what the president said. This is something that our country needs. If the Liberian people don't want war crime court, they can just come out and say it, right? But everybody keep talking about, oh, we want war and economic crimes court. And then when someone's trying to get serious with it, everybody, oh, Ghibli, oh, the person got the other person here, the other person powerful. If the international community helping us to set up these courts, you think they would just be so careless and just go ahead and just knowing who these people are and just set it up like that, and in a careless way that anything can happen anytime and they won't care. They will just pack up their bags and leave. We need to stop making this about Prince Johnson. Like, if it's left with me, it's not like I was never affected in the war, but I would want it to. Okay,
You wanted to what?
to
let go, right?
to move on, yeah. But I'm not the only Liberians. There are a lot of people there who wants to see closure, who want this.
Okay, but I mean, let's establish something here. Let's establish something before moving on. Where do you stand as an individual? And maybe we should just have maybe just few seconds on that. But where do you stand as an individual?
As an individual, I stand for the war crime court. But the reason why I would want to let it go, because most of the people are already dead. It's just only a few of them. A lot of them, we wasted so much time by me. And like they said, Ellen, the moment the war decided, that's when we supposed to do this thing, like people like Rwanda did and Sierra Leone did. But all the other people are dead. So the few that are dead, they think they are being witch hunted. You talk about war crimes court and they all shaking up in their boots and saying all kinds of stuff when it's not supposed to be about that. Right? It's supposed to be about the country, like coming to, and maybe this is really something that we need, because some things that are happening in Liberia, when you look at it, it feel like the country is cursed. It's like we can't move on. We can't move forward. So maybe these are things that we need. But I mean, we want to forward. Look at how many people, their brothers and sisters that they killed. But look at this country today. It is doing so much better. I mean, what happened to Liberia? There is no love for the country. People just want to go and just fill their pockets. They put someone in ministries and stuff. They don't want to do any anything. It's just all about being called honorable. I don't even know if they know what that word honorable means. And just steal and move on. So sometimes some of us look at Liberia issue to be like, I mean, what is wrong with this country? Where did we go wrong? Right? So maybe some of these things, even though people are feeling like, oh, this person will do it, but I don't believe Prince Johnson is not going to do anything. The people of Nima, they know. A lot of Nima complains about Prince Johnson hurting them as well. Okay, so it's not it's not about Prince Johnson. It's about the country healing. And people think it's okay because it did not affect them personally. So, oh, let's move on, let's do this. But other people are still hurting. And you don't know some of the innocent blood. Then, I mean, the closure is, I mean, it's needed and it's important. Maybe we're looking at it as it's nothing, but maybe that's what we need for our nation to get back on track and really start to develop and move forward. And I don't think we should be looking at who is who today, who is when Ambassador Barker was running Ambassador then. He never hid it. He told everybody, every campaign, whatever he went on, he told everybody about the war crimes court. So people making it seem like it's about Prince Johnson because Prince Johnson supported me, so
and maybe you're right.
Mislead the Liberian people.
Maybe you're right on that. I mean, maybe you're right on that because we have had the likes of Representative Yeke Koluba. He have always spoken on this issue of war crimes court. He says he wants it. He wants to go to jail, and just the way he says it, he wants to go to jail if he's guilty. He wants it, whether he's saying it from his heart or just for the political show. That's another thing.
Trying to make himself feel important.
All right, and but not just him. There are so many people. But the reason why, and let me say this, the reason why, whenever the subject of war crimes court is mentioned in Liberia, a lot of people tend to mention the first thing that comes to the minds of so many people is Prince Johnson, is because he is one person who have consistently responded whenever the issue is raised. You remember, take for example when Senator Dillon raised this issue at the time. Senator Dillon, a new lawmaker, very active. So, and then Senator Dillon mentioned this issue without stating the name Prince Johnson. How did it get at that point when they had to go into a heated argument and he took offense? Why should Senator Dillon constantly mention the issue of war and economic crimes court? So this is just where we are. And I think you have a point. He's not the only person, but this is where we are. And that's why the president has now seen the reason to get involved from this point.
Right, Nelson. And you heard what the president said when what's his name asked him. He said, our people what did he say? Tired of this whole culture of impunity, and this thing has been hanging over the country because that's what all people talk about. What are people wanting or not?
He said our people are hurting.
Yeah. And all we hear about is war crime. Watch. People was coming saying that, oh, we wanted. I guess they never thought it was going to be serious, right? But now that it's getting to that point, Prince Johnson got all these people. We need to stop telling our people these
again, I mean, it's not about the
people. Somebody going to be crazy to jump out. You are the first one you did. After you think you will want to be crazy to bring another, and then the person that you bring into the something.
I want us to take a look at this again. I want us to look at this.
And you put it on paper, you want to bring one go. Even by the fact that you are announcing one go, you fear the people. Because we got thousands of people who are prepared to be fed and be kept after us. The war is over.
There you have it.
Okay, so this is what he's doing, right? Fear mongering. So this is what he want y'all to do. And he got you right where he wanted y'all.
Thank you.
What is Prince Johnson gonna put rebel in the street again or something? We dare him. I'll leave for him myself and go be rebel.
Where?
You're going to defend martial territory.
Right, go defend martial territory. That's right, Princess.
Come on.
He needs to know, seriously. He did nothing wrong. He said he was doing it for his people. Go to the court.
Let's have the numbers up. But today, just make a quick point and we take calls.
Look,
we want to allow some more time to our folks tonight.
I absolutely concur with everything my sister laid out here, right? At the end of the day, we keep moving back and forth. Like literally, like turning around the same circle every now and then. We're not making no progress. And we're moving and we consider ourselves as a nation. And I've said this, until Liberia can start doing things that resemble nations, we are just on our territory. Now, let me tell you this. Look, this is what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? There is no way we can have a national progress if we don't have a total closure to what happened. 250,000. Are we even taking our time as a nation to memorize these people? Have we done that? Have we really have like a national day of healing, right? Like look at America here. 9/11 happened. You have the 9/11 memorial site, the Vietnam War, like all of these things, right? You have to, you need to bring these things.
In Liberia, we don't take anything seriously.
People can understand. Just say, huh?
No, so we say they are on God, but only all God can protect.
So look, everything Senator Prince Johnson is doing right now, like my sister Amy rightly put it, fear mongering. 2,000 men are willing to defend. Where the 2,000 men are?
But you didn't. The mail will show you the 2,000 men too. Thank you, Ture. Let's take some calls now. Our Liberian people, your call on 0555101075, and folks out of Liberia can call on the WhatsApp number that's on the screen. Let's take our first call here. We're going to take as many calls tonight. We want to get your views on this issue. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yes, Nelson. This is Young Tosi calling from Washington State, the USA.
Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to in Liberia when it comes to the War Crime Code, and we keep mentioning Prince Johnson's name as if Prince Johnson is the only person in Liberia who participated in the war. The war in Liberia has a genesis, and it started from the coup that took place when the 13 ministers were executed around 1979. So, and there are people who orchestrated the war to come to Liberia. And the former president, Angela Salish, is one of those people. But it surprises me every time we talk about war crime codes in Liberia, we don't mention these people, and we just mention like Prince Johnson and Prince Johnson and Prince Johnson. And that is not fair to him. I'm in no way in defense of what he did to Liberia. He needs to face, justice. And so is everyone else who participated in that war in Liberia and destroyed the generations and they destroyed Liberia.
Okay.
So we need to be objective in our approach, and when we're discussing the issues, let's list those people who destroy Liberia and destroy our future and destroy the future of our children. Not just Prince Johnson. So
Thank you, sir.
Fair.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank
He's the
you.
only one speaking up.
Let's see if we take another person here. Okay, this person while we try to get that line ready. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Maurice Masako, calling from Belgium.
Okay.
Let me say thank you for hearing my voice tonight, my brother. For me, I'm in support of the war crime code. First of all, you see today South Orleans is moving forward, Rwanda is moving forward, because they make sure those people make sure they make sure that move all of the people that fought war in our country. That's the reason you see that country moving forward. But for Liberia, I hear people say, "Oh yeah, Liberia get cash. Liberia get cash. Liberia don't get cash. Liberia don't have cash over them." But the main problem is there we have all those that take part in the war we get in our country, and most of them from the Vera County. And one of the main things you see Liberia is not moving forward. Let made a Prince Johnson and Mother Eddie Johnson Salif. Most of them in the government and the Mother Eddie Johnson serve as a president.
Okay.
Even what happening in Grand Kema there, she have a share in our company. So Liberia is not benefiting. The people of Liberia, they are not benefiting because most of the warlords they have share in most of the companies.
Okay.
Like in Mama Liberia.
Thank you.
So the only way Liberia can move forward, then the war crime could come. Then the people live for all of Liberia.
Thank you.
Liberia will move forward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Let's. Thank you. Let's hold you there and bring in this person. Hello, you live? Your name and where you call from?
Good morning.
Morning. Let's hear you. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. You are live. Let's hear you. Can you hear me? Too bad it's not going through. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Can you walk away from your radio?
So you were talking about discussion. That's what it is. When I was saying concerning about the worker code, you see this country without a lot of friendship.
Okay.
Everybody that they want in this country, the dependent of this country. That is only way the country will go further.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and take this person. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Mo, calling from Virginia.
Okay.
America. Yes, and I really give God the glory to be able to speak on the program today. And I tell everybody that over there that making a point for Liberia. Indeed, yes, Liberia name adjusted. Please, Senator, I really want for you to raise the issue of the land issue in Liberia. Because the land issue in Liberia is very troublesome.
Yeah, I mean,
people,
yeah, that's a discussion we have coming up. That's a discussion we already have coming up. That's going to be captured next week. Yes, we have some stuff to reveal on that. So thank you. I mean, that's a very serious concern. Thank you, sir.
Can I make one more point, please? This is my first time calling on this station.
Okay, yeah.
Can I make one more point?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Senator, I already want for you to look at the issue of the disabled in that country. Where the disabled are suffering. When you go to Liberia, see,
I really want us to remain in the confines of the topic for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, maybe I will get you with bringing the topic up, please.
Certainly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, your name and where you call from? You're live on the show. Okay, we lost that person. Let's take this one. Hello. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. Good morning to you from my good morning to the panelists.
Yeah.
And good morning to all listeners in the radio link. My name is Daniel Sobot, and I join you from my EW resident in District City, Montserrat.
Yeah, go ahead, friend. EW.
Nelson, I really appreciate you and the panelists for coming breaking this topic on the show. I always follow this show, but I call on a selective topics.
Okay.
The topic that have to do with the war, the economic. It's very, very, very important to some of us who are victims of the war. So we are interested. If it costs us to now sleep for 10 nights to follow the we will do. I'm hearing some people are saying those war laws are powerful. That's the reason they are saying bring the war crown court, establish it in another country, since we got international partners who are willing to support us, establish it in another country, and let the people go there and go face justice. Who tell you that Jack Taylor is not powerful? Jack Taylor was the most powerful person in Liberia when he left to go to the sea. So how many persons you saw following Jack Taylor to go defend him there? No one followed him. How many persons will be willing to leave they and their family here to follow Prince Johnson, Kafai, that Dofo Dodo to Ghana, or you want to go defend them. You will do so. So, and the second part, what is quite important is the economic part. Someone said the people who cause the atrocity, many of them have that. Okay, yes, I agree to that part. But why about the economic constraint that they are causing for this country that make students are not in school, that makes beaches are not built, that make roads are not built, that make our economy is collapsing on a daily basis because one person in region.
Okay.
So the code is important.
Thank you.
And we pray that the code come. We will take them to net where my panel is for the panelist discussion. Okay, so it's very in peace.
Thank you.
That will come.
Thank you, sir. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, Nelson, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're live. Let's hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Something is not okay with this line. Let's come back here. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Your name and where you call from?
It's MS Truby. I joined you from the GSA road.
You want to be
Just wanted
audible a
to
bit.
weigh in on the topic on the discussion.
Yeah.
My attention has been drawn to the whim focus on Senator Prince Johnson as the subject when it comes to war crime code.
Mhm.
And more besides, people generalize the entire NEMA, antagonize NEMA as if we don't know the history of the war that fought.
Okay.
When Zion being dead alive, Prince Johnson stood us. Prince Johnson is written in the heart of the people of NEMA. So when we discussing the issue of NEMA County, somebody is saying that we should be particle. So I agree with the sister there. Let us not limit this subject to only Prince Johnson. If you look at the statistics of the TRC report, the IMPFL committed only 2% of the atrocities that were committed in Liberia. There were people in Grand Bassa County, LPC, 50 human beings there. I hear people talking about it. I begging us Liberia. Those of us who were children during the course of the war, we don't know the difficulties and how our people suffer. We are saying nothing can happen. They can arrest Prince Johnson at any time.
Okay.
And somebody is saying the buyer came to Morovia, they start to drink in where. If you start to make this kind of a statement, you make the people to take a defense.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's be very careful of how we take the work on issue.
Okay, let's go you there and take this person. Hello, you're live.
Yeah, this is Muhammad calling from Kuala Lumpur,
Okay. Calling from where?
Malaysia.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, the issue for the World Crime Economic Code in the first place, if Liberian people want the World Crime Economic Code, the first thing they should do first, they should start the problem from the grassroots.
Okay.
Meaning that they should not allow any of those people that took part into war to get governmental position. They should not be like a representative senator because these people into power.
How do we even get there when it's been already 20 years and some of the folks who participated are already representatives and senators?
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you about. That Liberian people should go against these people. Let the law be amended that these people should not get a power.
No.
Because the person cannot be in power and be able to vote against it, to vote against instead to go to war crime.
You know,
when these people are not in the power, hello?
Okay, yeah, just laying your thoughts, sir.
Yeah, these people cannot be in the power expecting us, telling us they should go to war crime economic code. And the issue about the war and economic crime is not only that about Prince Johnson. There are a lot of people there that should be going for war crime and economic code.
Thank you.
So once these people are in power, we are not going nowhere.
Thank you. That's all you there, sir, and take this person. Hello, you're live. Okay, we lost this person. Let's come back to this phone line. This person here, let me see if I can make this adjustment to get this person come through. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Nelson Abusa calling from Chicken Fashion.
Okay, let's hear you.
Bro, Nelson, Prince Johnson has get started settling. And in this country, all the guys, to be fair, Nelson, no one can bring war in this country again. Prince Johnson, any of them they try, I was sure would run after the English country.
No. Yeah, but I said, why are you talking about running after somebody for now?
The people of Liberia will not stand for it.
Let's see.
And then you keep resisting that you got men in the bush. The same way you got men in the bush, they got men outside the bush.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Nancy.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
let's hold you there and take
They're
another
not going to
person.
wait for government to fight for them this time.
This one.
Fight
Hello,
themselves to stop the
your
rebels.
name and where you calling from?
Good morning, my name is Benjamin Apollo. I'm calling from Queens.
Let's hear you quickly, sir, on this topic.
Look, the issue of the war and economic crime code is very vital to the development of this country.
Okay.
In order for the next generation to know that what happened in the past was wrong, these people must be adjudicated before a court of competence jurisdiction, so that we have a new direction of people who will stand the test of time. And when you are acquitted by that court, you will be seen as a free man, a generation will be free. But those who are perceived to be wrongdoers, we are awarding them with positions in government. They are marked wealth unto themselves, and they have wronged our public. How do we work with them? There will always be this conflict in the mind, intrapersonal, interpersonal, and what have you. So we encourage the war crime court and we encourage the president to pursue that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We take another person here. Hello, your name and where you call from? Okay, this person. Let's hear you, sir. You're live on the show. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You're live. Let's hear you.
I'm Jefferson Lake, calling from my rescue corner.
Where rescue corner at?
My man, don't give my name out.
Go ahead, Lake. Let's hear you.
Yo, friends, first of all, I must commend you tonight. You did well. You spoke like you were speaking from my heart. Yeah, and I was just enjoying you. There's no way war crime code. We're talking about war crime code. There's no way war crime code will be in Liberia without security. So the thing you are talking about, pre-Johnson doing that one, doing that one, I can assure you the agreement of war crime code. Once Joseph Baga agree that today war crime code in Liberia will get a lot of securities. So there's nothing for us to be like we are afraid or the other person threatening or giving fully for this statement. Man, this thing someone just got to say something to make that self feel fun. You kill somebody, bad way, then you talking about war fini.
Okay.
What if that was him?
Thank you. Let's hold you there, Lake. Enough in here. We must get at the end, and that end is to get the War and Economic Crimes Code. That's what Lake says. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Can you hear me? Are you here?
How you doing this evening?
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, hearing you, Nelson. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Nelson. Please say something to each. Your panelists have said a lot of stuff, and I believe most of them what they said. But Prince Johnson should not be acting as he's the only person about war to Liberia. While Omar Eddie Johnson study, you don't hear Eddie talking about war crime code. You don't hear other people talking. So he should not be acting as he's the only person. He cannot intimidate any Liberian to say, oh yes, because they can war crime code this and this will happen. Just what French is saying. Nobody's willing to go and put the left on line to avoid war in Liberia, and there will be no war in Liberia.
Thank you.
For us, we want war crime code because the war happened to us. Because we don't have parents today in Liberia. Tomorrow, it hurts some of us to see people passing around and saying that war is over. We are hurting, and we know what happened to some of us because we don't have family members.
Thank you.
But let's say some prejudice should not change the inner Liberian people to say, war crime is just nobody going to go and jump behind to say, but it should be like a Chancellor was one of the powerful men in Africa. And today, everybody knows the still a Chancellor. So nobody, Chancellor came to Liberia and they put cost for him. All the partner he had, did he get the plane with him? No.
Thank you.
Anybody.
Thank you. Let's hold you there, sir, and take another person now, because we're seriously running out of time. So we need to be just straight to the point, so that we make it in time. Hello, please go ahead quickly, sir. You're live.
Good. I'm calling from Seattle, Washington. I just have question for those that are in favor and those that are against. So, if they call for the war crime code and they go for the hearing, and after the hearing, is it possible for Joseph Baga to request for a reconciliation after they go through the case? Whoever found guilty and just decide to say, okay, the case is over now, we want to have a reconciliation. Is it possible? That's my question to everybody in there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. So we'll take the last 3 calls and then we wrap up from there. So let's see if we can get this person coming through. Okay, we lost that call. This person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
How are you?
Okay. Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
You
the war crime code supposed to be Liberia. Because for one fire is from the time kids over and the other group. Then another group come by again, they kill people again. Then every day they get causing problems. Then they empower. Nobody ever say one day to say, oh, Liberian people will sorry. But the only thing they will tell, oh, yeah, we'll get people in the bush, we'll do this, we'll do that. You know, people saw you. Everybody saw you. For you to say, oh, my people sorry. For almost 20 years now, nobody able to tell that sorry one day.
Thank you.
They want to they hear you talking.
Thank you, sir. So we take the second to the last call. Hello.
Yeah, how are you?
Yes, sir. Let's hear you quickly. Your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Joseph.
Okay, from Kagata, Magibi County. Go ahead.
Yeah, my concern has to do with the general. Because for me, my suggestion has to do if they want to establish a code, then they make sure they can travel their resident abroad. But if anything now, they better get to know that they were hunting after them. They want to put their set together, and then it will bring up problem for everybody. You see, having the first they talk about that war crime code, there were a whole lot of meetings that will be hearing in Tupuru. There's a friend that they call one block. I mean, all the journalists will meet and discuss the issue. So the best thing, if Prince Johnson travel out of the country, they can arrest him. If the general out of the country, they can arrest him. But if you say you want to come here and establish a code here to arrest the guys, then yeah, it will be a serious problem. And we'll not be discussing no other problem for the 6 years. It will not be discussing riot, protest, going so here and there.
Thank you.
So the best thing, go travel, you're resident there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we're out of time. We want to hold it at that. Our folks out there, there seems to be an issue. You can kind of let us know in case we're still live on Spoon TV. Kindly let us know. But let's do our closing now. We can start with you, Francis. I see Vasco is in the background.
Yeah, closing 99 run by. But anyway, yeah, it was a good show tonight. And I just want to address one thing that in the comment that our callers are calling is mentioning. We are not just saying Prince Johnson is the only person, but he's the only person that as soon the topic come up, he's the only person that can speak up. Like he's the spokesperson for all the people that committed war crime in Liberia. So every time it's mentioned, he has to come out and say stuff. Then he behind his pulpit making fun of President Boycott incident that happened during the inauguration, saying that as soon as he was coming to war crime code, he started falling down. Does that show somebody that has any remorse for the crime that he committed in Liberia? So we're not just talking about Prince Johnson. We know George Bolade over there. We know other people that they haven't even mentioned Eddie Johnson Sirleaf that supported the people in your president for 12 years. But you don't hear anybody else talking but Prince Johnson. He's the one I think that he can intimidate the Liberian people into submission and not being favored. The more he say he pays people off secretly. Just like George, I thought he had a vote. He was all over the place. They were talking about the silent photo. A real silent photo came out of Joseph Boycott. So Prince Johnson, he got 1,000 men, like our brother said. This time, not waiting for AFL to go and fight the rebels before even ECMO can help. The 1,000 people that he got, like, got 5 point some million people. So the 1,000 people that he think he has, there are 5 point some million people that don't want war. So that thing he's talking about, he ain't old people that came when they were young. Now they're old. They got great-grandchildren. I will go back again. They got cell phone now. They can watch Instagram. They can watch TikTok. They can watch Facebook. They see all the beautiful places around the country. They saw agriculture hostel, the African Cup of Nations. They saw beautiful places. They don't want no more war. So Prince Johnson, you try to put it in himself, will take you in here and carry you. Thank you.
Thank you. Vasco, please do your closing, sir.
Yeah, Nelson. I mean, this is up to this government to establish this war crime court, and we want to sit back and watch them. It's up to the president and the legislators to see how best they can bring this thing to a closure. And I mean, like I said, I support the issue of the war crime court. But my point, I always say that the timing, and we have made these people so powerful, and this is what we have to deal with to get them out of Liberia. We don't know what will be the aftermath, and we're gonna sit here and watch, Nelson. We just pray for the best, that this government should know what they're doing, because we don't want anything to spark up in our country, because we went through a lot in Liberia. And those same guys that fought the war, they stay in our country and they are watching. So we just pray that the government do it in the right way. Like I listened, maybe I will try to send you a video. I listened to a video from Hollywood and Henry Costa interview. Costa asked the question, how did you guys do it in Sierra Leone? And Hollywood said, in Sierra Leone, they took like 2 hours. He said the same threat that the people making in Liberia, that was the same threat the guys were making in Sierra Leone, because they had a guy who was in control of the common job. He was making the same threat. He had a whole lot of thousands of people waiting and nobody could get him out. But Adiwan said when they got ready, they got in touch with all the security apparatus, and in 2 hours, they were able to get almost all of the guys arrested. And that's how it worked in Sierra Leone. So we pray, because like I said, Sierra Leone situation is different from Liberia. Sierra Leone situation, the guys they were nothing. They were just roaming around, and they were able to get them. But our own guys
that just came from war, and they had
yeah,
that
Sierra Leone just came from war, so the guys that were nothing.
But this time, it's different.
They were nothing, and the citizen, the things that happened in Sierra Leone, the citizen were in full support. Like what Cindy said, the people are divided when it comes to the issue of the war crime code in Liberia. So wait and see, Nelson.
Where I get your math from on the division?
Thank you.
From perfect.
Yeah. So let's hear from Toure. Toure, please go ahead, sir.
So look, where's the threat? Where's the threat to establishing a war crime court? And I understand, people say let bygone be bygone, let move on. The country is reconciled, blah blah blah, that crap. But yeah, we still turning around the same area, and we're not making any progress. Everything look dilapidated. Like you will not even know that Liberia have enjoyed, almost 20-25 years of peace. All right, because you know what? There are a lot of people that are still crying in our country. There are a lot of people that are crying in our country. So look, let me tell you this. The war crime court, right? That's what Alan Weiss clearly stipulated in our interview. Once the president gave them the go-ahead, they establish their own office. Liberia don't have to pay a dime. This is fully funded by international community. All right? So they will come in with their own security and everything. Just give them the go-ahead, let it walk in. And everybody that's saying, oh, and look, for our people from Nimba County, you're sorry. We're not trying to single you guys out. Everybody for war. Every country had their own war law or what have you. By the end of the day, there is no postal charge to the civil war in Liberia bigger than LME, bigger than Prince Johnson today, or men that have enjoyed the Liberian Senate for all these years. You tell me, who fought war in our country, or general or a warlord that has so much control in terms of the public space? Prince Johnson been senator for how many terms, right? The man got his own church, right? He got his own university, right? So he enjoyed, the public space. That's why every time we're talking about the war crimes and stuff like that too. And besides, he always talking on it too. Every time he bring it up, it's like someone talking to him. No, we're talking about how to bring closure to a devastating civil war that claimed the life of 250,000 Liberians. That's what we're talking about. And like Bob Marley said, who they had fits, let them wear it. All right? We're not dressing baboon for beauty pageant. We're just trying to have a closure to what happened in our country, because we believe that without closure, we're not going to enjoy the peace and stability and progress that Liberia is yet to enjoy. Like other countries like Sierra Leone, you know, Rwanda, they're enjoying today because they wasted water. You know how Oppo say when people for your waste water, everybody go that way. Liberia is yet to waste our own water, and we feel like the day we establish that war crime code, that will be a water wasting movement for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But where have you seen Babu gone for beauty pageant?
Go ask the chimpanzee in the forest. Go ask the forest animal there.
Mr. Cindy, let's hear you tonight, sir.
Man.
On the issue of war crime code, it's a very heavy topic. I'll be honest with you. Our country went through a lot. And I can tell you, I've said it here, when you ask folks from every one of the aisles, the four corners of the war, whether it's before 1980 or during 1980, I heard one of the callers said the war started in 1980, after the coup. But if you talk to other Liberians, they will say that was even beyond that point. You know, if you talk to other, they will say it started at that point. At that point, you talk to other, they will say it started in 1990 or, you know, after the coup. Everyone have something to say in their own defense and in their own interest about our civil war. I am not against the war crime code, but what I'm against is creating a situation where Liberia will be further divided. If there is a good plan in place, where the President Joseph Yuma Boakai and those supporting him to establish a war crime code will ensure that our country remain peaceful and that we move forward in the right direction as a nation, then bring it all. I will support you. I agree Liberians need justice. A lot of us, if not all of us, were affected by the civil crisis. Several family members of mine died. And that is the story of a lot of people. We all need justice. Let's do it rightfully so Liberia will continue to enjoy the stability that we have now. If we are being practical, without using prophecy math, we can clearly tell that there are Liberians that just want to move on and put the past behind them. And there are Liberians that want closure to what happened to their family members. I've said here before, I came from Ivory Coast. 1999 as a young man, when my entire village was burned down, I couldn't even I was, without giving my age, I was nowhere when the war came.
But we already know your age now. On your birthday, you told everyone on your birthday that you're 35 years old, Cindy.
Gladly 35, and that's true. So that will have put me about less than 2 years when the war came. When I went back to, when we came from Ivory Coast, from SI, my entire village was forest. Just imagine we came from a beautiful Tulople area in Ivory Coast, and then we went to Grand Guinea, so DNA, we're chasing it around. Just imagine. And that's why I keep making a statement on this show. I want to die living a Liberia that is better than the Liberia I met. So we need a better Liberia, but let's do the war crime coaching. If that's what the president wants, let's do it right so that Liberian will not be divided, so that our country will not be destroyed.
Thank you.
You know, any further. Thank you.
Finally, Amy.
Yeah. So everybody have already said it. War crime code is a touchy subject, but we still have to talk about it. It's part of us, right? I mean, the Civil War, we wish to throw it behind us, most of us, but you know, your past made you who you are. Some of us today, we sitting here, came here right after the war and stuff, and a lot of family members, you know, died. You only saw them when you were little. Sometimes you remember them. You know, sometimes the war things, even though I was little, but I still remember some stuff. It was horrible. Sometimes you wanna forget it, right? But I guess what I'm trying to say is that people, if I'm having those memories of family members that I can't see today and things that happen that we don't even want to hear it or talk about it, some people had it worse, even than some of us, and that can't let go till this to that court till this they get justice. That's what we're trying to say. And our country keep going back court and back. Well, look next door, my people. I couldn't even believe when I seen Ivory Coast doing the African Cup of Nations. I'm like, this is Ivory Coast? This is right next door. This is not even Ghana, right? And I'm like, God, what did we go wrong as Liberians? Is that one bad thing after the other, one bad things after the other. So, I mean, as much as some people may want it to be over with and just let it go, maybe, like I said before, it's what our country needs. So we need to allow it. And like putting fear in people, it's not the right thing to do. One person that I know he explained a lot, that he did a lot of evil things. But today when I look at him, I know forgiveness is very hard, right? But when I look at him, I can be like, these are, I mean, I can try and forgive somebody like this. The what's his name, Bud Nicky or whatever. He doesn't stand there and talk about, oh, I was doing it because this was happening, because I was defending this, because this was. He's actually showed remorse. He's remorseful. Like, I did so much horrible things, so many horrible things, and I want for this court to come so I can pay for my crime and stuff. And this man is doing stuff that show with the young people, that show that he has a lot. He's troubled with stuff that he done. But with my uncle Prince, the moment they talk about war crime court, he ready to fight someone. And that is not the attitude that people wants to see. I mean, when people see that, they get so angry. They just want, and it's not all about him. The economics part of it too is another thing as well. So we need to start limiting the whole thing to Prince Johnson, and he needs to start seeing himself as a target. That when someone said war and economics conquer, then he having a bad dream. He needs to stop that. He needs to he said he did something, he never did anything wrong. Let the court come, let he go there and generate himself. If people say, oh yeah, you are doing the right thing by defending your country, your country, even though your country is way in my country, but you came all the way Carware to do that. If that's the right thing, fine. Okay. But if it's not, people need to pay for that crime, and we need to move forward. And I think for some reason I'm just having the belief that after that happened, Liberia will start to move forward. And that's what we're all praying for. We want to see it. When people talk about number days, we don't even know what those days looks like. We never seen a beautiful Liberia before than what we see now. So it's really important to some of us to see that we want to retire. I don't want to be old and go back home. I want to go back home when I'm still young and have a good life in Liberia. Yeah. So I don't want to stay here and be like, oh, because nothing good happening, nothing has changed, and so let me stay here. No, this is not my home. Yeah, I grew up here, but this is not my home. Liberia is my home. That is where my heart is. I mean, I love America and everything, but I got love for Liberia, and I can make it. So, yeah.
This video
So
is recorded. It's on the internet.
You better believe that.
Longest.
Yeah, I love my country. I want to see great things happening, and I want to see Liberia looking at Ivory Coast. I want to see Liberia looking at Ghana. If that's what it takes for it to happen, I'm on board. So be it. We will pray for Liberia, all the fear and all of that. Guys, God is bigger than any human being. They can say what they want to say, but Liberia will be better. Thank you.
Vasco forced the Leo in prayer the night before.
So again, yeah, Vasco started with prayer. He said the country needs. Vasco, he said the country needs prayer, right?
Don't joke with it.
Yeah, the country does need prayer. We need to pray. We need to pray for Liberia.
But we all need prayers. Every single day we need prayer.
Well, you in Liberia. That doesn't mean you can pray for your country, Nelson.
You better believe that, Nelson.
I mean, all of us, regardless of where we are, every country in the world needs prayers. You know,
Nelson, we need more than prayer. We need action.
Yeah, like brother double portion.
We need actions. Like your team, you can close church, you can close all your businesses on Sunday. You go to church there, losing productivity. You can pray, but you need action. And
you're talking about
Sunday.
Just closing your businesses today, like church.
Monday to Sunday, bro.
Pastor said you must do that.
Again, I want to say thanks to everyone. It has been a great show.
Sandy on the Sabbath day, don't
thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Vasco Sumo. We appreciate you. The man who won the admiration of the commenters today.
Let's not making Vasco
unlike the other days, Vasco will usually get the punches when we have the political discussions. Like I remember the day we tried to make analysis around the chairman's resignation. Vasco got the CDC chairman resignation. Who remember that night? Vasco got the punches of his life.
You're not even reading the letter right.
Let me tell you about the comment section. The day
he said all the CDC in the stairs.
The day they praise you, just enjoy it. The next day, they will call you out.
Yes,
there is no permanent law from the comment section.
The minister says, "Sonny, trying to fix this."
Nancy, I don't see the comment on Spoon. Like I told you, I think I drink good from a black man. You need to talk to him. Election is over now.
How are you?
They need to,
I will check it up.
I can join the show on Friday.
Like you when you're digging foundation.
I was digging foundation.
I will check it out. But again, Francis Javate, thanks for being here tonight. Our brother Ture of Batara, thank you for being here. For Cabinet Ture. Mr. Cindy, General Cindy. Mr. Cindy, thanks for being here tonight. Our own dear sister of Marshall Territory, Amy. Amy, I will give you Amy full name. I will give you her social media handle. I'll give you her social media handle.
I won't get my government name out
here. You need to start coming on town on the show because 15 minutes to the show, everybody like, where's Amy? And all those, as soon as they say, where's Amy, then I see you to go.
That's my territory. That's my Marshall territory.
What you saw in like, bro? The job
no, we're not having a new show. Vasco, we're going.
No job.
One question. Get one question.
Did you see some changes in Liberia?
We're not coming to talk about no park. Like, you ain't got food.
To be quite honest, Begugba did some good things.
Thank you, Ture. That's all.
He did some good things.
Yeah, you guys spoke in the background. I just saw Vasco texting you. And Vasco texting you, and he said, "I come and ask you a question."
What?
No, you gotta tell me how to put me back in the group chat.
Vasco don't even have. I don't even.
Okay, so yeah, Vasco, will are you back in the group
Vasco,
chat?
I'll find you on Facebook. I send you requests, but I don't think we're even from Facebook, to be quite honest.
But again, man, guys,
all of y'all in front of me because I'm digging foundation.
Guys, I want to say thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, digging that foundation.
Have a good night.
The wall and all of that. Yeah.
Have a good night. And so we'll be here tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you, Nelson.
Bye, guys. From the bottom of my heart, man, thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah.
You need to tell me all about that trip.
Yes. Like we're in the chat room, man.
Yes, sir.